Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, see, most of the guests are afraid to keep the headphones on because they don't want to hear themselves. You're not afraid.
I'm not afraid.
Yeah, you're not afraid.
Don't be afraid.
I could tell.
Yeah.
You're just ready to just be in the ambiance of podcasting.
Yeah, I'm ready to dive in.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I am.
And what are we diving into?
Ooh, okay. So dating, relationships, marriage in 2024.
I feel like these are hot topics.
I would think. What do you think?
I think they're tough topics because I believe a lot of it has to do with environmental issues, not necessarily people or individuals themselves. I think the environment leaches into either your perception of what things should be, or it leaches into grass is greener and all this stuff, all these other mantras that you can say.
Yes.
And it's tough. I think it's tough for everybody right now. I know a lot of, I told you this, I know a lot of people that are in relationships that it looks like it's the best thing on the planet.
Yep.
And behind closed doors, I actually know what these people are like, and they are miserable. Miserable.
Oh yeah.
So how do we collectively as a society get back to, like you said, not necessarily that we have to go back in time to like the 50s and 40s and 30s, because not necessarily that they did everything right, but there were a lot of things that we have lost in the sauce, literally over the years, just lost it, and we need to really bring back. I also think that, and this is just coming from me, I believe that it has been so hard economically for so many years for especially our age, everybody.
Oh yeah.
But we're talking about the age demographic that's not having children, especially right now.
Yes.
And that is specifically staying single, and take the games out of it. Whatever sex is playing the game, just take the games out of it.
Yep.
So it has been so tough financially for us for so long that we're constantly in this fight or flight mode where we have to make rent, or get the groceries, or take care of the dogs, or keep our business afloat, or commute into the city, and I got to get my fitness in, and I got to do this, and I got to do that. And I just find, in my opinion, that it's causing so much distraction from finding a relationship, finding somebody that you want to spend your time with. Because when I look at myself, I barely have time for myself at this point.
Yep.
So how am I supposed to be able to give myself to somebody else and wholeheartedly welcome that into my life when I sit down at the end of the day and I go, holy shit, it's another fucking day.
Yeah.
It was another fucking day.
Yep. So
get up on that mic.
All right.
Get up.
I got to get up on this mic.
Get up on that mic.
All right. So I'm going to dive into it right now. So as you said, this goes back to systems theory, okay? Like everything works as a system, all right? And we do live in 2024. It's not 1920, okay? And we can't just, the general relationship, okay, right now, you can't survive on one income. Let's just talk about just general middle class, whatever it is, okay? And it's hard to survive, okay? So we are going from the day to day to, maybe it's one job, maybe it's to the other, but it's hard to also find the time for ourselves and to find somebody out there. It's not like, we don't just go outside anymore and just meet people.
My mom tells me all the time?
What?
My mom constantly says, Nick, you're constantly around guys, jujitsu, and just you're constantly around men. This she said to me this morning too. She's just like, you just gotta open yourself up to more, co-ed type situations.
Yeah.
She recommended to me this time, it was fucking hysterical. She goes, why don't you just go to the bar, make friends with the bartender, sit around. I go, with what? Fucking time?
Yep. Love that.
First off, I don't drink. So I stopped drinking, and I'm not just going to sit at the bar and just keep ordering seltzers and just sitting there and what? Just looking around, not being on my phone because I'm trying to be present and okay, this is great. It's not like what it was when you were a kid, Mom.
Right.
It's not.
It's not the same.
Yeah, it's not.
Just not the same.
And I do wish it was. I do wish it was more organic and easier to do things. But I feel like we're all just so fucking stressed.
Yeah.
Constantly, that even when everybody goes out, they're either blacked out fucking drunk, or they go out with their friends and they're just huddled in their little group.
Yep.
And, you know, for guys, it's not that it's intimidating, but you don't want to have to go over there and try to talk to one girl, but then all the other girls are like listening in and standing right there. It's like, all right, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Like, I'm over it.
Yeah.
And the cold approach as a man, and from feedback from all of my guy friends, the internet, I see it all the time, they're constantly getting shut down by girls before there's even a reason to shut somebody down, that at some point now the guys just start going, fuck it, it's not even worth my time.
Yeah. So,
and what's your background, just so
right.
people know as well?
All right. So my background, I have a degree in psychology. I have a master's in social work, and I'm currently getting my doctorate in marriage and family therapy. So the reason I did that is because it is all different branches of mental health, okay? And and each branch is very different, okay? From what I can, obviously, psychology is just in general, like, you know, the overall blanket, okay, of the branches. Social work is more like social justice type things, more work that's draining. It's really, really draining. And my whole purpose is like, I genuinely wanted to help people. Okay. So, you know, self-disclosure, you know, I've been to therapy when I'm a kid. You know, I had parents that were divorced. I saw a failed marriage.
Same.
Too. You know, like same. Having parents that are divorced, it's really difficult, you know? And then now in society today in 2024, us navigating that, it's kind of difficult because, I mean, I don't know about you, but my parents' divorce was kind of rocky.
Yeah, it sucked.
Like it's rare when parents get divorced and they're friendly. I do hear about it, which is great, but you know,
I don't even care friendly. You don't even have to be friends.
Yeah, cordial.
Just do me a solid. Just like, don't involve me in the arguments. Don't involve me in the fights.
Exactly.
That was something that I had a conversation with my mom about many times, and I just told her, even as a man now, I told her, I was like, you know, like certain things that you did, you pitted me in the middle of dad pitted me in the middle of you.
Yeah.
You know, just like the constant remarks back and forth and this and that. And it's not cool to do that with a kid.
But it's unintentional. They don't
mean it. They're not
mean
intentionally
it.
trying to like make it seem that way.
Yeah.
You know, I stopped talking to my dad almost a year ago now. So I stopped talking to my dad last November. And I talked about it on the podcast literally right when it happened.
Okay.
And I just, over the years, my dad and I are very different human beings. And which is fine, but we don't have a lot in common. And I tried to, over the years, to try to like do things. He liked that I was in the gym. He liked that I lost a lot of weight. He liked that I started jujitsu, this and that. But you know, my dad's the personality where like I'd get injured just because I'm doing sports. Like I'd get injured at jujitsu and he'd be like, "Oh, come on, Nick, come on." Like, "Oh, my bad. I didn't mean for the kid to snap my ankle in half, bro." Like it just happened. Like it
not
just,
in my control.
Exactly. So my dad has always been like the buy the affection, like get you gifts, this and that. But like
my dad was similar.
Be very distant or be very not around for the important shit.
Right.
So my dad just made, you know, brief summary for what happened last November. My dad just made a comment. It was about to be Thanksgiving. And I just said, I said, I think we're going to my aunt's. My mom, my aunt, and grandma are going to be cooking. Yeah. And he just made another comment like he always does. "Oh, wow, the Rizzo women really stepping up to like cook." He's like, "When I was around, I always had to cook." And I was like, you know what, dude? I was like, shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah, really.
I literally told him, I was like, yo, watch your mouth.
Yeah.
That's my mom.
That's my mother.
I live with my mom. If it wasn't for her, I would not have been raised the way I am.
Yep.
Watch your mouth.
Yeah.
You were not around all the time.
Yeah.
So don't sit here and badmouth her and my aunt and my grandmother.
Right.
Don't do that shit.
Have some respect.
Yeah. And it went on. And I was just like, I was berating him, you know, another grown man that is my father. And this is what it is.
Yeah.
But since then, I have no interest in communicating with him anymore. I have nothing to do. I don't want anything to do with him. Yeah. And I'm good on it.
And look, that's okay. And look, it's also okay if that changes. And that this is something I tell clients a lot, right? So like in this point in your life, if it doesn't suit us, okay, we're not gonna entertain it, right? Like we're not teenagers, we're not in our 20s anymore, we're not little kids. Like we are transitioning into, you know, really adults, okay? And yeah, our parents, when they were, I had this when I was 24. That's, I don't know about you, but that was like my dad's famous. I had this and I'm like,
Karen still drops those, but not not intentionally, like to put it in my face. But she'll just like intentionally say like, oh, everybody, the kids like to complain about how hard it is today. She's like, it was expensive for me too. I'm like, Karen, you bought your first house at 21.
Yeah, really.
Like really?
Relax.
You bartered for it. I think you traded a goat and $20 and you got your house.
Yes.
Like, it was $125,000 for a brand, like not brand new, but a big house.
Thank you.
I think it was a 3-bedroom with a huge backyard in West Hempstead.
Nice.
Yeah, really, Karen.
Really, Karen?
Really.
Okay, so actually, funny part is our moms are friends.
Yes.
Okay, so we necessarily didn't know this, but they're besties.
Yes.
Which is cool.
It's hysterical.
I think it's hysterical because I'm listening to you and my mom does the same thing.
Yeah.
She's just like, oh, Dominique, I did this when I'm like, Mom, it's 2024. It's just totally different. She goes, I'm not going to have grandchildren. I'm like, you need to relax.
Yeah, just chill the fuck out. Chill out.
Need
Everybody
to,
chill out.
Take a breath.
Yeah.
All right? Again, I'm not... It's not like I don't have goals and all these other things, but I have to say, I think based off of my experiences and what I see in my work every single day with different clients, I think I'm at a point where I'm not settling, but I'm also like, I have like tunnel vision for myself.
Yeah.
Like you were saying before, it's exhausting to, you take care of Kenji, you do your jujitsu, you're editing videos, you're doing all these different things.
Trying to, lining up meetings and retainer clients and making sure everyone's happy and billing and invoicing. And
yes. Like, and it gets to be a lot.
It's a lot.
And then
people don't understand until they actually have to do everything by themselves. They have no idea
and that's a good
how
point.
difficult it is. They have no idea. And that goes for business owners and that goes for being single as well. Because I've been single a majority of my life. I mean, I had a couple of long-term relationships, and 3.5 years was my longest one when I was young. It was like 21, 22.
Yeah.
And then that ended. And then a couple of 1-year relationships in between here and there. But generally, I've been single. So everything's always been on me. I've had tons of friends that just like jump girl to girl or girls that jump guy to guy. And I'm just like, every time you have somebody kicking in half for the rent or half for this, half for that. You guys have never had to do all of it by yourself since you moved out.
So, all right. I can get into this topic.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that a majority of the time that is the case. Okay. Now, I think that I can relate in so many ways. I think a lot of the times where you say like your friends jump from relationship to relationship. A lot of people don't realize, like, I hear that statement and I smile because the therapist in me like comes up and I'm like, okay, why is that person doing that? Truthfully, a lot of them a lot of people don't like being alone.
Yeah.
That's what it is, okay? And once you master being alone and self-sufficient, okay, you're kind of untouchable. Nothing, like, if it adds value to your life, that's when you're like, okay, I can entertain this maybe, but if it doesn't add value to your life or positivity or growth, you're not really going to entertain it. Now I have to say, my past self, I'm more of like a fixer. I'm like, oh, this person needs my help. Let me help them. But I put nothing into myself. Mm-hmm. So for years in my past relationships, I was always, nurturing and watering other, my partner's lives and not my own. I always stayed in school, which was always like my grounding thing. I stayed in school. I always like to learn because the brain it's fascinating. Okay. And we're all changing, and it's just like you said, your environment and this day and age, it does affect how you think as a human being. So I think as far as my experience, like in my own personal experience, plus having the background that I do have, I think dating is just it's just difficult, period, regardless of my experience, my background. I think it's just in this day and age, it's difficult because of, I think, social media. I think financially, I think in order to have a successful relationship, marriage, okay? A lot of my couples will come in and social media is a big thing. You know, there's a lot of, there's more temptation. There's always the grass is greener on the other side. You know, there's always these perceptions and like things that are happening on Instagram, and it's really a farce. It's not real. It's really not real. These people behind closed doors, you know, have domestic violence cases or, you know, are really not happy in their marriages. And they're just portraying an idea that isn't real. And I guess my thing is, like, I want something that's real, you know? And I think that it's really hard to find, but also being okay in yourself and understanding who you are. And you know what? Yeah, I want the marriage. Of course, I want to get married. I want to have kids one day. But here's the thing. If it's not in the cards, maybe it's not. But like, I'm also okay with that in myself because I know me as a person, okay? But it took a lot of work to get there. And I think social media is a really big thing in how we all are perceiving ourselves, how we think a relationship should be, you know? And it's really confusing. It's really confusing. Like, I work with a ton of teenagers now, and these kids, like, they don't know what a relationship should be. They're thinking it's like, it's either rainbows or it's either extremes. It's either it's rainbows and butterflies, or it's so tumultuous that it's not even funny, you know? So it's difficult to see like these kids growing up and what's the norm, okay? And I think like a lot of norms that we had growing up aren't the same. It's just like you said, Karen, Linda too, you know?
Karen and Linda.
Shout out. Hey now. Yeah, so I think they do have like a different way of perceiving things, which is, I don't want to say it's outdated, okay? But, let me a little bit.
Say it.
Okay, sorry, Mom.
It's
Mom.
Outdated.
Okay?
I'll say it.
Oh, it's outdated. It's outdated.
It really is.
Okay, it is.
That's like somebody taking a Yellow Pages ad out nowadays,
Thank you.
and you have Instagram ads.
Yep.
It's like, whoa,
It's like,
no one's gonna see that, bro.
Like, what is that?
Yep.
I'm sorry. Like, no. I don't even know what that ancient thing that you just gave me is.
What's this scroll?
What is
this scroll? What do you send a raven to get to my house to give me that shit? What the fuck is this?
Send me a telegram.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
I mailed it out yesterday. Did you get it yet? No, bro, just text me.
Yeah, really? What are you doing? Okay, Dominique, how do I do this on the Instagram?
You know what my mom did yesterday?
Oh,
No, I want to get back to it. You'll laugh.
Okay.
She just goes, my phone isn't ringing, and I looked at her and I went, okay. So I look at the side. Okay, we're still on the volume is on.
Okay.
So I look through. I hit the volume button. It shows the volume is all the way up, and I was like, okay, maybe a little user error. Like maybe it's a little glitch or something like that.
Yeah.
I literally go settings, ringtone, and the volume was all the way down. And I literally just went there and I showed it to her, and she just goes, oh, she goes like this. She goes, you know, you grew up with this. And I literally on this. I went, come here. It's okay. And I just gave her a hug. I said, it's okay.
It's okay, Karen.
He's a little dumb sometimes. She goes, shut up. I'm like, shut up. It's a little dumb sometimes. It's okay. Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
Too funny. But
You're saying two extremes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So it is. It's like, it's either people are all rainbows and butterflies, or it's like they think it's like this tumultuous relationship. And kids nowadays, I think they're so like glued to the phones, okay? And it's really sad because I mean, I remember like I have like scars on my elbows from like me falling off my bike. Like that was our childhood. But then we also had like the beginning stages of technology.
AIM.
AIM, man. Like, oh my gosh.
It was the best thing. Best thing ever, because you could just put a away message on and I'd sit there and I'd be so amped that I'd be like, yo, who's going to send me a message right now? They think I'm away. Like, I'm just sitting there and nobody would message me. Like,
and you're just like, damn.
I'm like, great.
I suck.
Fucking awesome.
What was your AIM screen name?
Oh, God. I don't even remember, truthfully.
Do you know what mine was?
What is it?
Dom the Bomb 5.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
You're great.
Dom the Bomb 5.
You're great.
Yeah. And then I had like another one that was, do you remember Scary Movie?
Yeah, of course.
Do you remember One Hand Hansen?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a screen name named One Hand Hansen.
There you go.
Yeah, I did.
Grab my strong hand.
Grab my strong hand.
Yeah. I was a big Xbox guy. I had all the Xbox names. But I miss AIM.
Yeah.
I miss AIM.
Oh, if we had AIM now, damn.
We basically do. Everybody, except it's on a steroid version now.
Yeah.
Everyone just has access to us 24/7.
Yeah, but that's not fun.
It's
like,
not.
How AIM was like.
That's why you need to be able to leave it.
Yes.
And just walk away.
That part. Leave it and walk away.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't have that self-control. And this ties into what I was just saying. These kids, like, I work with a ton of kids that have school avoidance. And at first I thought.
School avoidance.
School avoidance.
What does that mean?
They avoid, like.
Because I had that, but I
Okay.
I assume it means something different.
So school avoidance, like, they have such bad anxiety,
Oh.
okay, from social things, okay? And I'm talking about they just broke up with their girlfriend and they saw that they liked their photo and, like, they're having a panic attack going to school, okay? This is how bad it is now. So a lot of kids just will be like, nope, I'm not going to school. I'm not going to school. And then these parents don't know what to do because they can't. I mean, some parents do, but a lot of parents, they won't drag their kids out of bed. I mean, my mom would have had me. I mean, my mom would have had
I'm
me.
learning jujitsu now. Just in case I have a son, I could put him in a headlock and just bring his ass to school.
Yep, that's right.
Like, yo, it's either you're going to school or you're going to sleep. Whatever you want to do. Like, I got this locked in.
I got this locked in.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of these parents, like, struggle with that. So these kids, like, instead of dealing with it, they'll just stay in bed and sleep all day. And then guess what? Mom and dad, in order to have a comfortable life, they're both at work. So they, you know, it's not like it was back in the day where, like, mom's at home just cooking and cleaning and, you know, tending to, you know, things are kind of different, you know? So both parents are working and then their kid is kind of just slumped at home, just depressed because their girlfriend liked another guy's Snap story.
Yo, dog, welcome to the show. It's only going to get worse.
Welcome to 2024.
Welcome, bro. It's only going to get fucking worse.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I see that a lot. And kids, like, avoid school because, you know, they won't deal with their shit. And guess what? Mommy and daddy come in and save the day.
Yeah,
or
pacify it.
Or there's the other kids that, like, their parents just can't. Like, I also work with kids and, you know, couples that don't, you know, are immigrants. You know, they struggle with all these, like, different things that, you know, for me, it's a humbling experience because, like, you have, you know, kids that only communicate, their parents don't really understand what living in the United States is either. You know, so it is totally different in different cultures, okay, different areas, and it's pretty strange, actually.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool to look at because their beliefs and their and their values are very different. Like, they think, you know, in some countries they think, like, you know, I'll have, like, an 18-year-old kid come in. The parents are concerned, like, kids smoking weed or something, and I'm like, all right, pick and choose your battles. It could be a little worse, but you know, in other cultures, it's like super extreme. It's like, oh my goodness,
Yeah, that's their heroin.
That's their heroin, and I'm like, okay, like, understandable. You know, you don't necessarily want your kid smoking weed. I get it, but, you know, some of these parents today are just, like, very lackadaisical about it. Oh, my kid vapes, but they're, like, 11.
Oh.
So what is that? What's that about? Because just because it's normalized and, like, the news is out there about, yeah, vapes are bad, smoking's bad. Like, let's be real. Yeah. Anything you're putting like that in your body is not good.
Yeah.
Just like we've talked about before, you know, even certain foods we're putting in our bodies, like, it's crazy.
Like fucking everything.
Everything.
Like fucking everything.
Everything. My no joke.
That's why you're gardening. I see you harvesting all the time.
Yes. Yes. I can't even tell you how much better My tomatoes are.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, my sauce is just, it's.
Oh, you'd never be able to eat a store-bought tomato ever again.
No, because it really does taste differently.
Yeah, these are sweatshop tomatoes.
Yeah. Plus, my blood, sweat, and tears went into those tomatoes, okay?
How long does it take I need to know, how long does it take to grow the tomato?
Okay, so truthfully, I started in May. So I started in May, and I'm not gonna lie, I did have. They were real small.
Blight came. You're gonna. It's gonna be like an old farmer. All of a sudden, the blight came through, and all of a sudden, all the crops died.
All the crops died. No, so I had a little hiccup because my landlord's dog peed on my damn tomatoes. Okay.
Does that ruin it?
Yeah.
Oh, it kills it instantly.
Yeah, it's just, and plus, do I want to eat tomato? Like,
can I just be so brutally honest?
I know what you're gonna say.
I am sure that there is way worse stuff that our store-bought tomatoes have been through than dog urine.
Okay, now you're right. You are right. Okay, now I
wonder if that's a stat. Keep talking. I want that's a stat.
So now I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, damn, this dog just peed on my tomato plant. Like, but I couldn't, and it was just me. And I Googled it. Said, truthfully, it would actually be more of a fertilizer for the tomatoes.
What, the urine?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is crazy.
There you go.
But I couldn't get it out of my head. So I couldn't.
How much did this dog pee?
Okay. I mean, truthfully, when a dog pees once, they're gonna keep peeing in the same spot. So I saw him do it once.
Oh yeah, and that was it.
And I was like, that's it. How many times?
Was it in a pod plant that you could just bring somewhere else?
Yes.
All right.
However,
being a little diva-ish for a farmer.
Yeah, I am. I was a little diva-ish, but I was really invested in just me harvesting it. Okay.
Felt good, right?
Yeah, felt good. So I redid it, and now I have to say, now I have way too many tomatoes, and I'm making sauce.
Crazy. She didn't bring me any tomatoes.
Oh my God, I should have brought you a jar of sauce. And I've been pickling stuff too.
What's up with you?
I'm just, listen, this is single in your 30s, people.
Crazy
okay?
energy. Have you made sourdough yet?
Okay. I have not. I'm not on this because I'm not basic, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Not basic.
Let me know.
I'm pickling peppers.
Pickling peppers.
I'm pickling peppers. Jalapenos, serrano peppers. What else? Hot banana peppers. And sweet banana peppers and hot chili peppers. So we got 5.
I like a banana pepper.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
On a sandwich. And
sandwich or pizza.
Wow, I never actually.
Remember we got the pizza? That pizza was delicious, right?
That pizza was really good.
Yeah. Shout out to Doe, the homies over there.
Doe. Yeah, homies over there.
Let me see. What would I even Google search? Produce contaminants.
Produce contaminants. Sounds serious.
All right. Production contamination. That's not what I wanted. I want produce.
Produce.
I'm so tired of like the AI popping up every time on every Google search now and everything. Facebook, Instagram. You can AI? No, I know how to fucking type. Leave me alone.
It's horrible.
Do I sound like Karen right now?
Maybe. I definitely sound like my mother a lot.
Okay. There we go.
What is it?
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. So the AI actually just broke it down for me.
Thanks, AI.
Oh, fucking thanks.
2024.
Yeah, hey. Produce, someone said produce. Produce can become contaminated with bacteria, viruses, or other impurities at any point during the food production chain from harvesting to preparation. Contamination can occur during pre-harvest, harvesting, post-harvest. During pre-harvest, the soil, the irrigation water, animal manure, dust, insects, and wild or domestic animals can all contaminate your produce. For example, hens can pass germs to an egg yolk before the egg is laid. Harvesting, cross-contamination can happen when affected produce touches other produce or when microorganisms from people or farm equipment touch the produce. Post-harvest, contamination can occur during washing, conveying, handling, fresh cut processing, packaging, and transportation. Human handling, harvesting equipment, transport containers, rinse water, and improper storage and packaging can all be sources of contamination.
Wow.
According to a 2019 study, contaminated leafy green vegetables were responsible for 51.7% of reported outbreaks of produce contamination from 1980 to 2016, while contaminated soft fruits caused 27.8%. The majority of cases were caused by pathogenic strains of, I'm going to try it.
Try it.
Escherichia
Escherichia.
coli and salmonella, norovirus, and hepatitis A.
Oof.
Super amped
Sounds
about that
serious.
last one. Produce can become contaminated by bacteria and virus microorganisms during the harvesting and packaging, storing, handling. Blah, blah, blah. So, yeah.
Damn.
So I guess, I mean, the dog urine really wasn't much.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't. Now you're making me feel bad.
Yeah. And he was just trying to help you
He was
harvest.
just trying to help me harvest.
It's like, I'm trying to make it realistic.
Yeah. But so anyway, my landlord's dog peed on my
Pissed all
damn
over
tomato. So I reharvested. But now I don't have I have so much. I can't believe I didn't bring you a jar of sauce.
Crazy.
I'm so sorry.
Crazy. It's all right.
Next time.
Next time.
Next time.
We're going to sell it.
We'll sell it.
We'll sell it. This is the business.
Yeah.
This is the business right
This
here.
is right here.
Yep.
We'll do it.
What was the AIM screen name? Dom
Dom the Bomb 5.
the Bomb 5 sauce.
Yep. There you go.
Dom the Bomb sauce.
Dom the Bomb sauce. Hashtag it right now.
There you go.
There you go. But so I've been on this whole like harvesting kick, and let me tell you, I think my 30s are I'm really just trying to like learn new things.
That's why I did jujitsu.
I mean,
I'm learning how to strangle people.
I love that.
My ears are getting fucked up. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But you feel fulfilled after it.
I do. I like, and I'll tell you why I like jujitsu. I mean, there's many reasons why I like it, but primarily one of the main reasons I like it is because it doesn't require my phone.
Yes.
You know, we all sit on the mats. We do drills for like 30 minutes. And for an hour class, we'll do drills for 30 minutes. And then the last 30 minutes is live rolling. So we're all just rolling we'll do like 5 or 6 5-minute rounds of just beating on each other and just going to town. And it's like we put rock music on or metal or whatever, and we just all get right into it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, afterwards, it's the anxiety, not anxiety. I don't really get like anxious like that.
Yeah.
But I get overwhelmed because all of a sudden I have 8 Instagram DMs in an hour that I didn't answer people. I have 8 Instagram DMs, 10 text messages, and like a missed phone call. And you're just like, and then that doesn't even count for emails.
Yeah.
My mom hits me up every 20 minutes. She's just like, did you get the email I sent you? Did you get the email? I made a connection over here. And I'm like, I appreciate it, but I can't do everything. Please leave me alone.
Please give me a break, Aaron.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say, I struggle with the same thing, you know, especially being in my field, you know, my
accessibility.
Phone, I have to be accessible, you know, I have to.
And I have to too, as a small business owner that runs the ship.
Yeah.
I do too. But there is a point where, and we had this conversation off air, there's a point where I'm just like, I can't handle anymore. Yeah. And I turn this phone off and I use my bat phone.
Yep.
And I just, only a couple people have that number, so this way they know I'm alive, and there's no social media on there. Actually, X is on there, and I have to delete X off of there because I'm getting consumed in X again.
Yeah,
and I have to turn that off too. But I'm gaining I'm gaining a lot of followers, so it's like I want to keep posting, but I got to keep it socials on here.
Yes.
The other phone is for other, everything else. But I just. If I get a message, if it's in Do Not Disturb, if I get a message and I see it, I feel the need to respond. I'm thinking about it actively and I have to respond.
Yeah. I mean, and look, I feel like that is a lot of people. It's everyone's problem. Okay. I even was like that in the beginning too. But like when you start realizing how it affects you. Now, look, obviously in your business, you're working from your phone. Let's be real, you know? So it's difficult to like set that boundary for yourself and be like, hey, I gotta do that. But you do it with your jujitsu. You're like, you know what? This is like
I literally leave this home.
Yep.
I leave this phone home and I bring my Samsung.
That's what you
gotta
do.
And I just so I have like an hour.
Yep.
I got my music on.
So
the
you
Samsung.
do have a sense of self-control.
Well, I try, but the problem is that I get sucked into it too easily.
Yeah.
Because especially with the podcast. With the podcast, there's so many things to post to. Yeah. I have to post to Twitter, X. I have to post to Instagram. I have to post my YouTube shorts. I have to post the full video. I have to, and then I have to, every comment that comes in, you got to answer quickly to stay relevant in the algorithm.
Yep.
And then it's all these extra things. And then that's my content.
Yeah.
Then I have clients too.
Yeah.
So it becomes a very draining game. Now, I would say probably 5 months ago, when I was kind of laying stagnant in business because of my fault. I was comfortable with the clients that I had.
Okay.
I wasn't out there searching for other clients. I wasn't actively promoting my business. I was kind of just, I had a lot of money coming in and it was great. Yeah. And then once those clients stopped and the contracts ran out and they weren't renewed because of changes in budgeting or marketing needs, whatever have you.
Right.
I was at that point where I was not really on my phone a lot because I was so comfortable with like, I have to do these shoots, I do these edits, and then I'm off my phone and I'm good. But now the last 3-4 months that I've been hammering again to like, I'm on my phone constantly and this and that. Yeah. I've been finding that I won't say my mental health, but my mentality as a whole is diminishing.
Okay.
I'm finding I'm getting cloudy in the head again. I'm tired.
Like brain fog.
Yes, I'm tired. I just like, what do I have to check?
Yep.
I hear dings from the laptop, dings from the iPad, dings from the phone.
Like I'm triggered.
Then my mom doesn't know what fucking phone to call me on. So then she'll text me on both. I'm like, Mom, just pick a phone. Just call me on the bat line. I have the bat line with me most time. I don't have it now, but I have it with me most times. So it's just like, she just doesn't know what to call me on. And it's just like, now I'm getting dinged on everything.
Everything.
And the watch is dinging. And the dog wants to go out. And I'm just like this. I'm going to jump out the fucking window.
Gotta watch, I'm a mandated reporter.
So yeah, it becomes tough. And just, you adapt, and I really don't think anybody understands. They see these TikTok, and it goes hand in hand with relationships as well. They see these TikToks, they see these Instagram reels, they see all these things of these small businesses and these companies and whatnot, and these day in the life of the CEOs. I've shot these videos, and I am this video, but just without filming it. And I understand, what actually happens, and the decision making, and the really hard conversations that you have to make. I mean, clients overstepping their boundaries. It's a big retainer client. Like, do you put them in their place and tell them like, we can't do that? Or do you just let them step all over you? The longer they step all over you, the harder that conversation is going to be because you're going to eventually have to have it. So people just like see these videos and they just think that life is just grandiose and amazing. And it's not that it isn't. It's very difficult. And the challenges are very insurmountable in certain ways.
Yes.
One of the things that I'm very fortunate about is I don't have to go to the city every day. There's a lot of people that slave away. They make far less than me, and they have to go to the city every fucking day.
Well said.
That is horrific, and I really feel for that. I mean, but that's also, that's the path that you're going down. You can switch things out, but it is easier said than done in a lot of instances. So I can't sit there and say, oh, just pick up and do your own thing. It's like, because I know how hard it is.
Yes.
There was a video on TikTok, and I reposted it, and I put my 2 cents in it, and there was a guy saying, what did he call it? There's a terminology for it that you've maybe heard before. He called it, I'm going to tell you right now.
Now I'm curious.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you right now because I reposted it. He called it quiet quitting. That's what he called it.
Quiet quitting.
Quiet quitting. I'm going to have to put this up to the microphone so we can get like a bass in. Let's see if this will play.
To promotions, walk slow, never work hard to try and build your own. So I came across this gentleman's. Start quietly quitting, say no to promotions, walk slow, never work hard, but always work smart. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are talking about quiet quitting and how you can use this method in order to begin the process of escaping your job to try and build your own business so that you can have more purpose and fulfillment in life, and that you actually design your life and take full control rather than giving away the control to an employer and having your life totally assigned for you. So again, I have a video and...
Oh, okay. Like, I get it. But like, you're gonna have a bunch of people that will listen to that advice. Mm-hmm. They'll get fired at their job.
Yes.
And then they're either not ready to start something on their own, or they have nothing.
Yep.
Or they do, and then they get thrown into entrepreneurship, and it's not this mystical thing that they're promised by a guy on TikTok.
Correct.
And it's really fucking hard.
It's hard. And not everybody is dealt the same hand. Yeah. And that's why I say, like, being an entrepreneur, it's damn hard, okay? It's a lot of research. It's you teaching yourself everything. I mean, let's be real. I mean, think about the person you were 5 years ago. You've grown extremely since then,
I wouldn't even rank if my 21, 25, okay, like all the generations. I've said this to my mom too, and it's so crazy to think about. If 15-year-old Nick, 18-year-old Nick, 22-year-old Nick, 25, 28, and now 33-year-old Nick at the end of the month could sit down and like all look at each other, not only will we be completely different people,
oh yeah,
but just we wouldn't even have anything in common.
Nothing.
I would look at each other like, whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Who are you?
Who are you?
That's me? Nah, no way.
No, I don't even like that person.
Yeah.
But truthfully, I have to say over, my years, I feel like I've been in a lot of relationships where I've become bitter and, I'm just like, oh, I felt like my 20s was just a learning experience, like almost like a trial period. Okay. That's how I look at it because I'm 32. Well, I'll be 32 in November. I'm like still processing that. Okay.
Processing that to be 33 at the end of the month.
Still processing that.
God damn, almost halfway to 40. Yeah. Like
oh my God.
For the decade. Oh, that's crazy.
Shut your mouth, Nick. Shut your mouth.
It's crazy.
So
do I have to start shopping for coffins? Like I don't even know what to do yet.
Depends.
Oh yeah, depends.
Depends.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's over for us.
I think it's over. But anyways, so gonna be 32, and I think a lot of my 20s were just like it was learning lessons, and my 22-year-old self, like 10 years ago, I don't like that bitch. Like she was really immature. Like she knew nothing. I'm sorry, and I feel like 22, like that age is so weird because you're like, oh yeah, I'm such an adult, but
nope.
You're not an adult. Nope. You know nothing yet. Okay, like
not a clue.
Just getting started.
Yeah.
So hold on for the ride.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't even know how taxes worked yet.
No.
I was like, oh wait, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait, take what?
Wait a minute. They take what? How much?
Oh man.
That's just rude.
Yeah, really.
It's violating.
Fucking nothing.
Unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, I think also, yeah, so I look back to like my past self and even how much like I've grown in my education. Like I didn't know half of what I knew now. And it also takes, and just because like I'm book smart and I am educated doesn't mean like I know everything either, Like, yeah, I know a lot. Like research, sorry, doesn't lie. Divorce rate's 52%.
Is it?
Yes,
is that
it
up another percent?
Okay.
Wasn't it 51%?
Okay. 2019, I looked it up. 2009, did I do something?
No, I'm looking at him.
Oh.
No, you're good. I'm looking at him.
I thought I like touched a wire.
No, he was getting up.
I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to light on fire.
Oh, no, you're good. I was just looking at him.
Kenji. So 2019, it was 52%. 52%. Okay. Divorce rate.
And what did it come from? Not obviously what causes it.
Yeah.
Where did the statistic go from to get to 52%? And how steep is it?
Okay. I'm pulling this up on my phone. 2000 U.S. consensus.
I'm waiting for a text from BMW like, hey, by the way.
What?
Hey, by the way, your oil change is done, but we found 500 things wrong with the car, and you're out of warranty, so it's going to be $90,000.
Oh, we just love that. Don't you love when that happens?
I fucking stand them. I want my Toyota. That's all I want.
Do you know what? How about this? I have a Toyota Corolla. Okay, yeah. I have no car payment.
I love that.
That bitch is a 2015. Gets me from point A to point B, and I love it.
I love that.
Me too. Okay, I love it. I told myself, you know what? I'm going to get myself a nice. What am I getting a nice car for? Really? I love it.
I want to get a beater car, like a Toyota, just anything. But even the beater cars are expensive. But I want to get a beater car, and then honestly, I want to get like an M2, BMW M2.
Yeah.
2-seater, kind of like my S5, stick shift, super fast. That would be my weekend car.
Okay.
That's my fun car.
Yeah.
That's the car that Kenji never goes in.
Yep.
The other car, he could beat the shit out of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like that your way of thinking.
Yeah, but then 2 car payments.
Yeah.
I went from 1 to 2.
Yeah, and then you're like,
and like, 2 insurances. 2
you're sweating.
Back to jumping out the window. It's a second story. I'm gonna survive the jump. So
you'll be fine.
Yeah.
You've been doing jujitsu. You'll be fine.
Oh God, I don't know about that.
When
might be the final straw for my joints. That's it.
Wait. So according to the U.S. Census, so it went up 9.7% since 2011. COVID caused a big part of that.
You think everybody would just be home fucking and everybody would just be cool? But
right?
nope, everyone got tired of fucking each other.
No, but it's not even that. It's people. It's because people had to deal with each other. Okay, so like think about
this. To leave in the morning.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You get a grand total of maybe 4 hours a day with each other.
Yup. So when we're all confined, okay, you really get to know a person. My mom says, she's like, you don't know somebody until you live with them.
That's what my mom says too. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Are they
no wonder why they're friends. Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay. Unbelievable. So yeah, you don't know somebody until you. But here's the thing. I used to be like, yeah, whatever, mom. Nah, she's right.
Yep.
You know what, Linda? You're freaking right.
Yep. Linda Karen, right
Linda
again.
Karen, right again. Okay. I hate when they're right.
I hate it
It's
so
awful.
much.
But it's true. So like when COVID hit, you have all these couples that are like forced to stay home, okay, deal with kids, okay, and actually like deal with each other, communicate. And some people, they don't communicate. Some people like thrive through, just you do your thing, you do my thing, we take care of the kids, but like they don't connect. And this is where divorce comes in. People aren't connecting. You have to, in order to like, and what I see in my practice, okay, is a lot of these couples, they're so in love in the beginning, they have all these things in common, okay, but then they either rushed into something, okay, because they're like, oh yeah, our relationship's been great for a year, let's get married. But then you live with that person. Hi.
Kenji break.
Kenji break.
Hi, Papa.
Why are you just so handsome?
So handsome. I know, and you stink and you're gross.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. He's gross.
You're a big fluff ball. Big fluff. Oh, wow.
His head looks huge next to you in the video. It's okay.
It's okay. You're okay. You smelling me?
No, he's gonna. All right, come here. Come here, fathead. I know. Come here. Come here. Oh.
Wait, I love his tail in the cat.
Come here. Come over here. Thank you. Don't hit the camera. But as you were saying.
As I was saying. What was I saying?
They're forced to deal with each other.
Okay, yeah. So COVID forced people to like actually like deal with each other, and
it was tough having a puppy. I mean, he was driving me nuts because I couldn't. Normally when you have a puppy, you spend some time with them, you leave that. Dude, you're hitting the camera. I told you not to hit the camera.
Kenji. Told you once, Kenji.
Oh,
Whatever. At least he's not growling at me.
No, yeah, that's good.
He loves me.
That's good.
Yes.
A lot of friends that he does not like.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just tough because a lot of people, you have a new puppy, you go, you're hanging out with the puppy for a couple of hours, and then you go out and you go to work.
Yep.
Or you go and hang out with friends and
Yes.
that. But it wasn't like that. It was
No.
like he was around 24/7. And, it was positive and negative because like now he's the most spoiled fucking guy.
Oh, yeah.
And, he just hates
Lives the life.
being alone.
Yep.
It's also the breed. So it's like it was double whammy. He
too.
got spoiled because of the
You
situation.
signed yourself up for that one.
I did sign myself up for that one. It was like, oh my God, it's been quite the journey.
Yeah.
But it's like it's funny because it's catch-22. It's like, okay, you have a dog that has epilepsy. You have a dog that it's like having a special needs kid.
Yeah, it is.
You're around the clock, like just monitoring him,
Yep.
medicines, this and that. But on the other hand, it's like without him, you're lonely.
Yeah.
You're really lonely.
Yes.
You're lonely already in some capacity.
Yep.
But you're really lonely.
But I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you think having an animal has helped you be alone?
Yeah. I would say it helped because you come home, he's excited to see you. It's
Yeah.
nice. There's good energy.
I think I agree.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's all good energy. I mean, I've had a lot of friends, especially not even relationships. I've had a lot of friends drop off, not even recently, but over the years, especially, and more the last 6 to 8 months, year, I've had friends drop off again. And the circle really is just, I'm just making sure he's not going to hit the power cord. God, he's got a whole office.
he has to pick that spot.
Yeah, it's picked right there. Because sometimes he'll stretch out and he'll hit the power cord and that's over for that camera and this camera. Anyway, so I've had a lot of friends drop off and I think a lot about like wanting to do things. And I've done a lot of things by myself for my entirety of my life. So it's like, then you go, it'd be really nice to have like some people that you can count on to like do things with.
Yes.
As opposed to just constantly doing things alone.
Yes.
Like I would mention to some friends, I'd be like, yo, we should go to this spot or we should go try out this or this and that. And they'd be like, oh, well, there's no type of music that I hate more. And I'm just like, all right, bro, like, I don't know what to tell you then. Okay, then just keep being miserable.
Yeah.
Like, and then, eventually those friends phase out because you just have no interest in continually trying to achieve something. And this is a relationship too. You keep continually try to like nurture something, and it's either shut down or shit on or this, and you just go, fuck it, I don't even care anymore.
Yep.
It's like hitting up somebody constantly, and they're just like not responsive or receptive. At some point, you're gonna hit that wall where you just go, fuck it, I'm done.
But and this ties into like, again, this is why I feel like dating now is so difficult, because like you never know. It could like you could be talking to somebody one day, right? And then, you know, their ex hits them up, and then all of a sudden they're distant, and you're just like, okay, I'm nurturing something and putting my time into something that other
Doesn't
person
even matter.
Isn't reciprocating. So it's so difficult because we do have, you know, it's the access of the phone.
Anxiety boxes
Yes.
is what somebody called them on a podcast one time, and I love that. Anxiety boxes.
Yes. I mean, it's valid. I mean, they are little anxiety boxes. You know, that thing dings and you're like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, we're trained. These things have us trained.
It is difficult. So, but I think like when it comes to dating and that and the phones, it's like, it's hard to, I feel like sometimes it's hard to trust people, but it's just like you said, it's also hard to like nurture something that is like on the phone. Like that's where I wish like back then, you know, I like communication. I like one-on-one. I like to get to know a person, their body language, you know, their quirks, you know,
We all do.
we all do, you know, we all have our shit. Let's be real. Okay. But I feel like a lot of it is like self-awareness. Like you need to have self-awareness. We're not all perfect. Like, again, I'm not the same person I was when I was 22. I probably wouldn't even like that girl. But at the same time, it's like you have to be aware of what you were, what you are now, and like kind of be open-minded into what's changing in the world. You know, you have to be present. You have to be present, but also very self-aware of the person you are in every phase of your life, okay? Because that shows you're growing as an individual. And I feel like a lot of people lose sight of that. I feel like, you know, today it's like these girls on Instagram, and I'm just going to say it from a female perspective, like, you know, listen, I know me, like I post my selfies. I like, there is a level of like self-confidence in myself that, you know, it took me a very long time to build, you know, but you know, then I see these women on Instagram where they are posting like half naked pictures, getting all this plastic. I'm like, why? To look good for a photo, just to look, you know, a certain way, you know, and I feel like it is portrayed differently. And that's why like these and kids, and it goes to like this new generation of kids where they think that that's normal. Mm-hmm. They look at the Kardashians and they're like, oh my gosh, they're so rich, famous, and happy, and they get whatever they want. But no, it's like, it's probably draining. It's probably extremely draining and miserable, truthfully. You know, so I feel like
they keep buying shit because they want to just
correct.
They want to assume
they
that
fill
the
that
next
void.
thing is going to be make them happy.
Exactly, and
then
guess
it becomes
what?
old quick, and then it's the next thing.
And listen, money, yes, money is safety, okay, but like money isn't happiness.
No, it's not. But that's and that's the point that I want to get in my career and my business is just where I don't have to worry about the price of things.
Exactly,
that's not necessarily going to make me happy, but it's just going to be one stress that's off my shoulders.
Correct.
Where I don't have to worry about the rent. I don't have to worry about this and that. It's like, oh shit, write a check, we're good.
Right.
Everything's cool.
We're good. You know, I just like, it's not, and look, I know it's something I'm going to have to deal with because I mean, I'm getting my doctorate, so I'm in loans like above my head, but.
You know, my school loans as a PR major.
Yeah.
I only went away to school for 2 years.
Okay.
I was paying probably almost $600 a month in student loans. Yeah.
That's rough.
I just called Sally Mae, and I hate to derail you. I just called, but you said loans, and it reminded me. I just called Sally Mae recently, and I was just like, "Hey, yo, this like variable interest rate that y'all just like totally suckered me into getting, and my mom should have known when I was signing this agreement because she's a fucking mortgage broker."
Yep.
She should have, Karen. She should have known like that was going to bite me. I mean, listen, who thought that the interest rate was going to go to 13%, 14%?
Mine's at 16.
It's ridiculous. It's so absurd. So it's like I called them and I said, "Yeah, I mean, I make money, but if it's going to be my rent and feeding myself and the dog versus paying you guys, I'm going to let you know y'all are losing that battle."
Yeah.
Like You're just going to.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, let's see. And they started asking me questions. They're like, okay, we'll drop it for a year, for 2 years to $200 a month. And I go, okay, cool, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. Just like make it cheaper.
Yeah.
Because like I'm not going to keep getting just, pardon my French, I'm not going to get skull fucked by everybody.
Yeah. No, it's fucked up.
It's insane.
It's okay. And
that's one loan. Then the federal one's like almost $200 a month.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, no. So
I was told this administration was going to take care of those. Sitting here twiddling my thumbs, just I'm waiting. I just every time my phone rings and dings, I think it's going to be that the loan's paid off, but it's not.
It's not paid off.
Yeah, shocker. Politicians lying.
All of them.
Yep.
Anyway, so I think actually that it just made the light bulb go off in my head. My college still sends me a parking ticket.
That's awesome.
Parking ticket.
How much? What was it accumulated to now?
Oh God, I won't even look. I see Sacred Heart University, and I'm like,
oh, that's right. You went to Sacred Heart.
Just gonna throw that out. I went there for my undergrad and my master's.
I went to Quinnipiac.
Okay.
Yeah.
We love that.
I hate that. I hate that. Connecticut was a very depressing place in the winter.
Right?
I hated it.
And everyone drove awfully. I'm sorry.
Awful.
Like we have no patience as New York drivers, but they're just
horrible.
like they're on a whole different
I drove home snowstorms.
Yep.
It was horrific. And I would just look at the drivers around me, and I had my Audi at the time, and that thing would just go through any weather, no problem.
Really?
Oh my God! Yeah.
Really?
That Audi has some of the best all-wheel drive in the world.
Wow.
Quattro all-wheel drive. Yep. That was the brand name that they gave it back in, I believe it was the 80s. They have a video of a car. They have a video of a car going vertical up a ski lift.
Shut up.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you. Yeah. Like their all-wheel drive is some of the best in the world.
Wow.
Yeah. I think they got banned from one of the rally federations for the rally racing because their cars were just unbeatable on all the rally racing, on the off-road stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Quattro commercial ski jump.
Ski jump.
Yep. There it is. Whoa, that's loud. There it is. And then they just parked it there.
No way. Wait a second.
Yeah, rewind it. Very, very dramatic.
It's very dramatic. The music they use.
I'm gonna have to put this over the video so
are.
people can see. Yeah.
Yes. Wait, this is like actually intense.
It's cool. It's cool. Yeah. What is this timestamp?
I'd be scared.
Oh yeah, I'd be shitting my pants. Yeah, it'd be over for me. Let's block the lights so I can see. There we go. So I would drive home from school in like horrific snowstorms, and I'd just be like, let's just get home.
Let's just get
home. And it was like an ice rink on what was it, 95?
Yeah. Or 95, or I would take the Merritt Parkway.
Merritt was horrific.
Ooh.
Merritt was horrific.
Yeah.
That was like purgatory.
Yes.
It felt like purgatory.
Yes.
Especially when there was traffic.
Oh my.
And it would just back up and everyone would just sit there. Yeah.
Go for miles.
Nope. Don't like it. Don't like it.
No.
So and then the funny part about the student loans, when I'm talking to them about getting the payment down, they just go, oh, are you planning on going back to school? I said, back to school? No. Actually, what I'm trying to do is invent a time machine to tell myself not to fucking do it in the first place.
Please. I'm okay. Anybody going for a doctorate?
Go ahead. School them right now. Give them free game.
Okay, so
free game.
I'm just gonna give it. Okay?
Free game.
So, as a woman, okay, and I'm gonna say this.
Go on.
It goes, go on. As a woman, okay, I feel like it's hard to make solid money, okay? Plus, be fulfilled and actually help people. Those are 3 things that I wanted, but like not to the point where I was draining myself and like giving more than I was getting. So, I told myself, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get a doctorate. Now, first year in, okay? Now, I'm 3 years in. I'm just going back to my first year in. I probably would have told myself to stop. And the reason I say that is because not only is it time consuming and draining because I'm still working 45, 50 hours a week, right? Plus, I'm reading 350 pages of research per week.
Sick.
Plus, I'm writing like 5 to 10 page papers.
Sick.
Okay? Sick. Then I have time to still go to the gym, breathe, eat, have a pulse, shower, all those other fun things. And then I'm supposed to be dating on top of it. So
just find someone.
Yeah. Like, Dominique, just go to a bar. I don't like to drink. I just ew. And I'm sorry. And I'm sorry, this day and age, like, I would have like a creepy guy come up to me at a bar and be like, hey, can I, and then put something, I'm not trusting like that. I'm sorry. It's like 2024. Mom, people roofie people. Okay.
My friend got roofied in,
I believe it.
in New Orleans. Did I tell you that story?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, I the person's going to be left out name-wise because for those that know, they know who it is. But long story short, we were at a bachelor party in New Orleans, and he, I don't know.
Oh my God.
I told you that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just came to my head.
Yeah.
So you're good.
Stripper.
Yep.
roofied,
Well said.
Spent mad loot.
Yep. Yes.
You
You
like
did
that.
tell me.
You like that. You like that.
But so it's, I don't want to go to a bar. I don't want to just like sit there and just like, what am I going to do? I'm going to scroll through my phone and like sit there and have a drink. Like, why? I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
And it's, and then we go back to the economical point of it. It's like to go out, buy a drink, you're $15, $20 deep now for one. And then even if you want to go out and eat at a restaurant, generally, depends on what the restaurant is, but generally the restaurants are going to be
ridiculous.
$50 to $80 plus the tip.
Yep.
I mean, and you sit there and you just go, okay, how many times a week am I supposed to do this to just like maybe bump into somebody organically?
Right. And it's just, why? Like it really is. It's hard. It's hard. It's like, why am I going to even waste my time doing that? And I was just like, what?
And I had the conversation with you before we cut the cameras on.
Yeah.
And I know you said that you run into this a lot and you've been now experiencing it yourself. I'm going to be 33 years old and my testosterone is through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. The last time I got it checked, I want to get it checked again.
Okay.
My testosterone is over I think it was over 800,
Yeah.
which is like on the high level, naturally, never taken anything.
Yep.
So no problems down south,
Yeah.
like nothing,
No problems down south.
but I have no desire to date. And I've never been sexually motivated.
Yeah.
Like I've always like seen a girl and just been like, oh wow,
Yeah.
that'd be great to
Yeah.
have sex or
Right.
whatever like
Yeah.
that. But
So,
it was never, but that has slowly faded on me. I don't know if my monkey brain is calming down. I don't know what it is. I want something to blame. That's my problem. I'm at a
Okay, I
point
hear
where
you.
I'm like, should I go see an endocrinologist? Should I go get tested? This and that. And I'm just sitting here and I'm just like, I don't know. Like everything's fine. Like everything works, but I have no desire to like nurture or try to like get into something because like you were saying, you put the time in and then they're talking to their ex and I'll give you a perfect example of another situation. But a couple weeks ago, there was a girl that a couple of people wanted to set me up with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sure, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
And I messaged her, no answer. Sick. So it's like, but this is, and I told my mom this, and she's just like, well, you have to stop expecting them to just drop everything. And this, I'm like, what?
What else am I supposed to do?
It's been like 2 days. Like, I know that she's on her phone. Let's be honest. It's delivered. It's
Yes.
like, I know what she's,
There.
I was like, so I'm just sitting here going like, every interaction that just leads to not necessarily a no, but and not necessarily a negative experience, but just a suboptimal experience, it brings me to a point of just like, I got so much other shit I got to worry about. I can't sit here and handhold a relationship now too. It's not in the cards for me. I'm not feeling that way. And I'm not the guy like these other people our age group that'll jump relationship to relationship. And it's like, I see these girls too. I mean, they have a boyfriend, done, right? Okay. A month later, they got a new one. And I'm just like, and they're like, I love him. It's the love of my life. It's
My
like,
soulmate.
really? That quick? That quick? I've had sinus infections longer. That quick. All of a sudden, you're in love again. And then 6 months later, they'll be done, and it'll be the next guy, and the next guy. And really, what it looks like to me is it's just like the dudes that are just waiting in line in the DMs. It's just like next. It's like a production line.
Oh, you're so right.
Sweetheart, your vagina is like a cesspool.
Yeah, it is a cesspool.
I hope everybody's using condoms
Yes.
because they're probably not.
Yeah, you're a cum dumpster.
And AIDS is running rampant. So
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But truthfully, that's how it is today. Now, when you say like you feel like sometimes you're trying to blame something, right? Like
I do. I feel like I for a long time just mentally I was like, could it be something that I'm just feeling? Is it depression? Is it this? Is it that? And it's just I'm like
I think
and I'm running down the gauntlet of just doing
Right.
research, and then you honestly wind up just driving yourself even more mad.
Yeah.
Because you're like, there isn't anything.
Yeah.
It's just
I mean,
life.
truthfully, like I feel like when this happens to me, like the therapist in me does kick in, and I'm like, all right, what is it in my inner child? What is my inner child telling me? And I feel like when I kind of get like closed off from dating and stuff, I'm like, all right, what is like the little kid inside telling me? Like, where else was I rejected in my life? Because yeah, there is a point where I'm just like, I can't even deal with this anymore. I can't be rejected by another person, like, because you find a vulnerable place, you text that person, and then you don't get a text back, and it's like, damn, that like. She could at least like send us, hey, I'm not really interested right now.
I don't even know what she looks like.
Right.
It doesn't even matter to me. It's like this. I took time out to just send a message.
Yes.
That's all it was.
Like,
just say, hey, I'm not interested because I don't,
Right.
whatever. Like, I don't even care. I'm not even
doesn't have to
looking
go
for you to
further
jump in
than
my
that.
arms and be like, let's go run away.
it's the Notebook.
Yeah.
Yay.
I'm not looking for that. I'm just, at least just a message, because now when you answer me in 90 business days, I'm not interested now.
Right?
Fuck out of here.
Like, no, I'm in a different place. Like,
Yeah.
I've grown since 90 days ago.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where me and you have similar like mindsets. Like, we're always looking to like expand our minds, growing, like listening to different people's perspectives. And I think that's what makes us intelligent beings. It makes us, I don't know. I feel like when I hear other people's experiences, right? And it's part of my profession too, but it's also me, like, it's a personal value. I like to listen, okay? And I try not to judge. You can't judge people because you didn't step in that person's shoes. You didn't experience what that person did. So maybe, that girl that didn't respond to you, maybe she got burnt so bad by the last guy that she didn't even respond. It has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, and I don't take it personally.
Right.
I don't take it personally anymore.
Right.
I just hate wasting time.
Yes. And
That's right. And even though it was 0.5, it was maybe a minute and a half of drafting up a text and sending a voice note. Yeah. I'm just like, it's enough for me to just be like, it wasn't even worth my time to send a message.
Correct.
We could just stay strangers.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
I'm cool with staying strangers.
I'm cool with staying strangers. Don't even worry about it.
Don't even worry about it.
I don't need another follow on Instagram where we're not going to actually interact with each other.
Right.
We're good.
It's just,
don't even worry about it.
You're again, like, you've grown since, like, yeah, maybe back in it's another follower. No. Like,
I don't give a
please.
fuck anymore.
I mean,
I do not care.
Me either. I'm just like,
that is the funniest thing to me is when people just follow each other just to follow and like not be rude. And I'm like, okay, so we're just not going to interact with each other's shit. Okay.
No,
sick.
I can't. Like, why? Why are we doing that? What's Kenji doing?
You're good. He's stretching. And his snoot is getting closer. Do you see it?
No,
it's getting closer.
I'm too short.
It's all right. I'm not much farther off. Snoot is just getting closer and closer to the AC power cord. Fucking guy. So yeah, so it becomes a difficult I don't know, it becomes a difficult task. And then I'm sitting here and I'm just like, well, is there mold in my apartment? Maybe I have mold poisoning and my brain's just not working anymore.
Then you become a hypochondriac and you're like, oh shit, now
that was me probably 8 months ago. I was not a hypochondriac, but I was just trying to figure out everything. Like, I felt bad when I ate this, and I was just like, what is this? And then I got my levels checked, and I got my genetic test done just to see if I had hemochromatosis, and then nope, you don't have it. Fucking great.
Check off the list.
So now check off every other one, and it's just, I don't know, should I get a brain scan? Should I get this? Should I get that?
But you know what's funny that you say that? So like, I feel like I went through a point like that too, but I feel like it was like, I'd say I was like 26, and like I just felt like my body changing, my mind, and I'm just like, what is this? Every single doctor was like, I would go to cardiologist, whoever it was, okay? It's stress.
Yeah.
It's stress.
That's what they say.
I'm like, okay, what is this thing, stress? How do I deal with stress? And guess what? You never really master it, okay?
Yeah.
But
so what are some of your best tips?
Okay, so
in the psychological department.
Okay, I got to be honest with you. You do have to have or some type of organization, whatever that organization is to you, okay? Like, some people thrive in chaos, okay? And that's cool. But as long as it's an organized chaos to you, that keeps it It keeps you it keeps you grounded. It keeps you feeling safe, okay? Like me, I'm the type of person that like I am very organized, right? Of course, like I'm a normal human. My room gets messy, you know, your place where you live, it gets messy, but like then you take the time, you clean that mess up, you know? So you have a refresher. You have that routine of things. That's where I thrive. So I think like for me personally, it's organization, but like, I mean, for like general population, it's a matter of, it goes back to self-awareness. What works for you as a person?
I'm almost too self-aware.
Okay. So now, being too self-aware is a blessing and a curse, I say.
It is.
All right. Why? I'm curious to know. For me, I think like it's a blessing and a curse because I am very self-aware and I will communicate until I'm blue in the face. Okay. I don't care if I'm going to, it's not even an argument. It's just, I don't even want to say argument. I will just make my point if I believe in something, you know, like I will. It's not a matter of winning or believing. It's just like, I'm going to stand for what I do believe in. And this is what I believe in, you know? But I feel like there's a level of, what do I want to say? I feel like there's a level of confusion with that though. Because I feel like I go back and forth with that sometimes. As I'm like speaking, I'm like going back and forth in what I'm saying. I think like having too much self-awareness.
So when I say self-awareness for me especially, I just know my place in the universe.
Yeah.
I have a very keen understanding of where I'm at, the world around me,
Yes.
how I'm feeling.
Right.
Like I'm almost too in tune with myself sometimes.
Okay. All right. So with me,
because when you're so in tune with yourself, it actually drives you mad. Because there are some people that just walk around and they have no general idea of what's going on, what's actually going on, or this and that. To them, it's just like, oh, it's Friday again, yay! And I'm just like, wow, it's Friday again. So it's the you know, I have 2 more weeks technically to make sure that rent is good for next month, and you know, I have this many projects to edit, and I have this and that, and okay, I'm feeling pretty good right now. Hamstring is, and I'm running checklists in my brain constantly about outside and internal, not dilemmas, but situations.
But you just like, you have that organization, you have those lists. Some people don't even function like that.
But then at the same time, it's just like there's so much to do in a day that
you have to.
You know, something gets left off.
Yep.
So like the dishes in my sink were there for the last 2 days.
Yep.
And I mean, I was supposed to clean my cutting board a couple of, you know, when I cut the meat on it, like right after. But by the time I'm able to like get home, make my steak, jump in the shower from jujitsu, shower, give Kenji his pill. Then he's pounding me to go for a walk. Take him for a walk. It's 9 o'clock now. Now I get in my pajamas, which is just like fucking shorts and a t-shirt. And then I just sit on the couch and it's just like, all right, another 15 to 20 minutes of just like having to put things away and this and that. I don't do it. So then it just kind of, that rolls over until finally it's just like, okay, I can't handle it anymore. And then I have to do it. So it becomes a struggle in its own like that.
Yeah.
Or the clothes don't get put away.
Yep.
They'll stay folded, but they're on top of my dresser or they're on top of something else. And it's just like to take the extra 15, 20 minutes, I'm so bombarded with everything else that I've done or had to do that it, to me, in my brain, prioritizing sitting on the couch for 10 minutes. That's what you need.
Yeah.
So it becomes tough because you're constantly shifting out things in and out, in and out.
Yeah.
And, you know, my upstairs neighbor is super cool. You know, I was talking to you about potentially getting a new apartment.
Yeah.
My upstairs neighbor, it has been an absolute blessing to live underneath him and his fiance now. They're unbelievable. I mean, I'm so lucky. We are a team. Like
Love that.
You couldn't want a better neighbor.
Yeah.
Like we put each other's trash cans away.
Awesome. Yeah.
Mail comes, packages come, we take it in for each other.
Yep.
Like we look out for one another.
Yeah.
I had somebody banging on our door at 10 o'clock at night. You know, we both grab our pieces, whatever.
Yeah.
and he sticks his head out the door up top and I stick mine out. He goes, yo, Nick, do you know who that is? And I'm just like, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Just give me a second. And he's waiting like to make sure everything's cool. Like this is a guy that you want as a team.
Right.
When I was away for a wedding in North Carolina, July 4th weekend, shout out Vinny and Layla. But when I was away for that wedding, my mom was watching Kenji and her and him were having conversation. And he just said, yo, it's hard out here, just in general.
Yeah.
I know we keep harping on this, but
do.
it's very hard right now. And in general. And he goes, and I remember what it was like being alone until I met my girlfriend and now fiance.
Yeah.
And she's a good bit younger than him. I mean, I think he's 35, 36, and she's like 27, 28 now.
Yeah.
And he's just like, before that, everything was on me. But now we get to split and divvy things up as a team.
Right.
And he's just like, and he's like, I know what Nick is paying. Cause we talk about these things.
Very forward, yeah.
We talk about these things. We talk about expenses and everything. He wanted to help me out and help me trim fat. He's a business owner as well. Okay. Almost like a mentor type thing. And he's just like, I've been there and it's really fucking difficult when everything is on you.
Yep. It is. Like, especially when everything's on you. I work 40 to 50 hours a week. Plus, I'm going to school. It's hard to find time for just yourself. And like, it's also hard to find like genuine people out there too, like that. Like, that's awesome that you have that. I have a good relationship with my landlord too. Like, it's cool when you have that, because
my landlord's cool too. He's very just like whatever. He's a very hands-off guy.
Yeah.
What I really liked about him was that when I made keys for the front door, he said, I don't want it. He's like, that's your property.
Yeah.
You're renting from me. He's like, I never want there to be a line that I cross. Or or even given the opportunity to open the front door.
Yep.
Even when he would come to collect the rent check, he'd be like, yo, I'm outside. Yo, I'm out front.
Yeah.
He would never just be like,
hey,
I'm coming in, or hey, I'm ringing the bell, or anything like that. He's just like, hey, come on out when you guys say, or leave it outside. I don't want to bother you.
Yeah.
So that's why the next property, 99.9% sure that'll be it, but it's his property again. So yeah, that's why same landlord.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, same
that's
landlord.
Awesome.
So it's nice because he trusts Kenji.
Yeah,
he knows you. The whole thing again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's probably a relief for you too. Bit. Yeah, because you're.
The money isn't.
Yeah. The money isn't. Money isn't.
The money isn't.
As we're talking about being alone.
Yeah, it's more expensive, just paying more. But, I don't know. I have this conversation with a lot of people, and it's just, I have friends in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I have friends in North Carolina.
Okay.
I have friends in Arizona. I have friends in Florida. And everybody has been begging me to some extent to move to their state.
Yes.
And my response because I don't love New York. I don't love New York.
I don't either.
I don't love New York. I don't love how it's run. No matter your political affiliation, you can't deny that this state has gone very south very quick.
Oh, yes.
And we are paying a lot of money for something that I used to truly believe was worth the money.
I agree.
And I don't believe it's worth that money anymore.
I agree.
Long Island's a different story, but I have to lump everything in together because it's the state.
Yep.
They are all begging me to move to their respective states. Mm-hmm. And it's tempting to some extent, but we leave family behind.
Yep.
We leave familiarity.
Yep.
We leave clients and the ability to make the money that we're making here, where I can't technically charge what I'm charging here in other places.
Correct.
Now, does the cost of living being cheaper offset that? So maybe a video doesn't have to cost this so I can make ends meet here.
Right.
It could cost this, so this way it actually is down here. Maybe. But I'm really looking at these places. They're not that much far off from what we're paying here.
Yeah.
So at one point, do I believe that it was so substantial that moving to Florida, moving to North Carolina was like, you're paying $2,650 for your one bedroom apartment in New York. You're going to pay $1,000 in North Carolina.
Yeah.
It's not that way anymore.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's getting very close.
It's very close.
So does it make sense then to dip?
No.
I don't know.
I got to be honest with you. I mean, when it comes to like, I understand these people that like, move for like retirement things or whatever. But like if you're moving from New York to a different state because you're thinking like things are cheaper, maybe by like a hair. Like back,
I wonder what they're at now.
I wonder what it is because I even think about it. My brother lives in New Jersey, not like that's far off, but like he lives in New Jersey and he always says like, oh yeah, the gas is so much cheaper here. And I asked him the other day, I'm like, how is gas that much cheaper there? It's off by like what, 5 cents? But it used to be like $1. It used to be, it was a crazy difference, but there's just not that big difference anymore. You can get a large house in Texas for, minuscule the price here, but.
Yeah, most of the spots are going to be in the middle of nowhere.
Yep, that's what it.
All right, so 3-bedroom. I don't know where the fuck this is in North Carolina. I'm just going to use it as an example.
Okay.
All right, so a 2-bedroom, $2,500. 1-bedroom in this place, $16. So $1,000 off for the 1-bedroom that I'm paying now.
Okay.
2-bed, $2,195. All right, so I'm once again $1,000 difference.
Okay.
This is what it would be.
Well, I am in a 2-bedroom and I pay $2,200.
That's a good deal.
Yeah,
But
it
you're
is.
also not in the village.
No,
Yeah.
I'm in Hop Hog.
Yeah. The Pog.
The Pog.
The Pog. Yeah, I feel like if it's in the city center or something like that, it's much more expensive. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. $4,600 for a 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
2-bedroom, $2,800. So now we're at New York prices.
Yep.
We're not in the middle of outskirt, middle of nowhere.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really not that big of a
2-bed, $2,800. So
Yeah.
$300 off of what I would be paying for the 2-bedroom. So it's just like $300, $400 off.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, but now do the businesses have the finances? And I don't want to say yes or no because I don't know.
Right.
I
Yeah.
haven't done market research.
Yeah.
So, but did the businesses have the finances to have the content done that I would need to price it at?
Right. And that's
For $400 difference in my rent,
And is it worth taking the risk? It's like,
at this age.
At this age.
We're not old, but we're not young.
True.
If I did this in mid-20s, it'd be different.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So my same buddy that lives in North Carolina, he moved to Connecticut, and then he bounced to North Carolina. Then he bounced back home. Then he bounced to North Carolina.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay. Most of the people that I know that leave, they wind up coming back. Most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
Yeah. Most of the people that leave wind up coming back, whether it's for family, whether it's for better job opportunities, whatnot. And I feel like if you're not seen and you're not in your environment of wherever state you're belonging to habitating in, you become forgotten.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, all of a sudden Nick's back. So now I have to scramble to get clients again.
Right. And yeah. Mm-mm.
Or even for the podcast, I could do remote stuff, but I have all my connections here.
Yeah. No, yeah. And that would be, I'm sure that would be hard.
Yeah. It's all hard, but it's all hard.
It's all hard.
all
all
hard.
of it's hard. No matter what you do, life is freaking hard.
It is.
There is no other way to slice it either, But I think the more, and I feel like this is the whole thing of this podcast. I keep saying self-awareness, but it's funny because you explained what self-awareness, like, and
I wonder what the actual definition is. Like
that. So because I take it differently. I take self-awareness. I took self-awareness differently
than what I do.
Yes. What's the definition?
The ability to focus on yourself and how your actions, thoughts, or emotions do or don't align with your internal standards. So that's kind of what I say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So
right?
now, yes,
Okay.
it is. So for me, but I think it's because of I think like the profession in me. Like I do think of it more of like an emotional thing. And the reason I say that is because I feel like that's just something that in just my experience, like I've grown in that sense. So like I am very self-aware, but I feel like when it comes to my emotions, right, sometimes I'll act on emotion. And I feel like that's something that I did in my 20s, like my old self did. Like I would act on emotion, like you get angry, whatever, you slam your hand on the table,
I broke my hand.
Ooh.
I broke my hand. I punched a wall when I was 18 or 19.
Believe it.
I punched the wall because I lost my wallet and I had like $300 cash in there that my dad had just given me for my birthday or something like that. And that was back then. That was like 10 grand in my mind.
Yep. It's
like,
10 grand. Like,
oh candy I could buy.
Unbelievable.
Fuck up, Nick.
The amount of candy.
Dumbass.
And
I fell out of my pocket in the movie theater and I punched the wall and I broke my hand.
Broke your hand.
Because I went back in and it wasn't there. So then we got a call. I'm in the hospital later that night. We got a call. Hey, we found your wallet. I was like, great. So yeah, that was truthfully, that was probably one of the main and only times I acted on like impulse like that, anger impulse.
Yeah.
I've since I was younger, I've never gotten into like fights or scuffles. I've never had to like do that.
Good.
Gotten close to them, but I've just always been like, you're not even worth my time.
Not where's my energy?
Yeah, be good.
But like that's.
So this is the
awareness wheel.
Do you know this?
Yes, I do.
Do you? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to read this. So on the outside of the awareness wheel is sensory data, thoughts, feelings, others, wants for us, and then actions.
Yes.
And future, past, and present. So under sensory data, it's observations, descriptions, examples, facts, and figures. Under thoughts, it's assumptions, beliefs, interpretations, expectations, evaluations, and opinions. Under feelings, it's emotions, happy, frustrated, disappointed, sad, angry, excited. Self, others, us, wants for. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Does it?
Yes.
I don't know about that. Observations, descriptions, examples, facts, figures. And then future, past, present actions under one wheel, and it's behavior, statements, activities, accomplishments, plans, proposals, promises. And then in the middle of all of these is issue.
Yes.
I'm going to put that up on the screen.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a screenshot of that.
Now, so I feel like as far as when it comes to the awareness wheel, okay, or self-awareness, okay, like the example I used, you act on emotion, right? So I'm angry. I'm slam my hand, you break your hand, okay?
Shattered.
What did that do for me?
Nothing.
It did nothing.
It made a bigger problem.
It made a bigger problem.
Now I had to get casted for 5.5 weeks.
Oof.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a long learning lesson.
It was a punch. I mean, I hit that thing.
Damn.
Yeah. It was. I thought it was going to be like one of those walls that your fist just goes through.
Yeah,
and
but it wasn't.
It was not. It was solid concrete. And I punched it as hard as I could, but I punched it. It's called a boxer's fracture. So when you break your fifth metacarpal. So I just punched it, but I caught it on the edge of my pinkies. That's why this pinky's like a little baby pinky.
You have a baby pinky.
Baby pinky. Yeah. It's like not there anymore. They call that boxer's fracture because boxers do that all the time.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Damn.
And they casted me like this. Imagine being like that for 5.5 weeks.
No.
Yeah. You get some cramps.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
It's like my worst nightmare.
Yeah, it was horrible.
You ever fall asleep like and your arm like goes,
All the time.
Oh, it's horrible.
All the time.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. No, all the time. I sleep on my stomach a lot.
Yeah.
Well, it's like,
That's actually really bad. I just read a research
it's
article.
horrible
It's
for
really
you.
bad for you.
And that's why I wake up with horrific back pain
Yep,
the
me
next
too.
morning, or I'm so stiff.
Yep.
I have to actively try to stay on my back.
Yeah.
But the best part of I bought a Tempur-Pedic.
Okay.
If I could do it over again, I wouldn't have bought the Tempur-Pedic. And
Yeah.
I spent like $5,000 on it. But it's got the moving base.
Okay.
So it does the zero gravity mode where it puts your feet up and your head up.
That's cool.
So I fall asleep in that mode, but at some point during the night, I get like a little bit stiff.
Yeah.
So I'll usually put the bed flat again.
Down. Yeah.
But then I have to make sure that I don't roll on my stomach.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I wake up with like that pillow under my arm and I'm just like this, so comfy. But my lower back is just like this. So it's fucking like this. It's horrible.
Wait, what are you like? You do that one more time.
Horrible. My sacrum.
My sacrum.
My sacrum hurts.
My sacrum.
That's why I bought my Theragun because I'm just so stiff.
My Theragun.
It's so awesome. I gotta show you it. It's so great.
Wait, I saw it on your story
it's
yesterday. Does
amazing.
it work?
It's amazing.
Wow.
It's a $300 massage gun, and
But it was worth it?
well, I ordered the $600 one.
Oh, of course you did.
Yeah, of course. Come on.
Of course you did.
Stress about money. I might as well stress a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you use your American Express? Did you get the points?
No, I used Rakuten. Rakuten send the check because they're going to 3% back.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Work smarter, not harder.
Exactly. See, exactly. And Karen said she wanted to get me something for my birthday. She's like, I'll give you like $400 for your birthday because I didn't get anything for Christmas because I didn't want anything. So I was like, all right, so I'll pay $200 out of pocket for this thing. Fuck it, I don't
Something
care.
my mom would do. They are very similar.
Very similar. It's super weird.
Wow.
We gotta all hang out.
Yeah, we do.
All four of us. But yeah, the massage gun is needed. Needed. My hip flexors are super weak.
Okay.
And with jujitsu, you're constantly pushing off, and there's a lot of like re-guarding and bringing your knees to your elbow to like not let people pass your guard.
Yeah.
So my hip flexors have just been getting destroyed, and then sleeping on my stomach destroyed them even more. So after class the other night, I just said, you know what? I'm gonna be, some people will judge me, some people will understand. I was like, I'm gonna go to Best Buy, buy a Theragun, and just return it in 2 days because I just need to work this shit out. I was like, I need to work this shit out real quick. 14-day return policy.
Yep.
Don't act like you don't abuse it too.
Yeah, really. Everyone does. Let's be real.
So I bought it and I really worked it out for like a good bit.
Yeah.
And I started hitting my tendonitis and my elbows, and I started hitting my trap, and I was like, fuck, I really need this.
I need this thing.
And yesterday I go to jujitsu at night, and everybody that saw it on my story, they're all making fun of me because I'm in the corner warming up for jujitsu. And I bought the more expensive one because it's got an ice tip. So it'll do like spot ice therapies instead of having to carry ice around with me, and heat. And there's another head that you can use for vibration only, so it doesn't like jackhammer.
Oh my God.
And the vibration only works your ligaments and joints. So I'm going to use that on all my sore fucking beat up joints.
So you're keeping it.
Oh yeah. That's why I ordered the $600 one. It comes tomorrow. I'm going to return this peasant $300 one.
This peasant.
Fuck
This
this thing.
peasantry.
I even think that $300 Theragun could keep up with this muscular and athletic build.
It's muscular.
Just don't look at my stomach. I don't have abs.
Neither do I. It's okay.
So
This is your 30s.
Yeah, something until I start taking steroids.
Yeah, right? Oh, gosh. Back to the self-awareness wheel.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, no.
Distracted.
Don't be sorry.
And BMW texted and called me.
Oh, my God. But what did they say?
I don't know. I need them to text me. You see how many messages I get when I don't?
Okay.
Does that stress you out?
That's a panic attack.
Does that stress you out?
No, that literally, I'm
stressed.
I could never.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just texting. Oh, wow. I only got one Instagram DM. It's great. Anyway, go on.
Wait, hold on. I'm still processing that.
Mm-hmm. That's light. That's light. And that doesn't show my emails. That doesn't show. Yeah.
Okay. How do you, I feel like we need a therapy session right now.
Therapy me up.
Nick?
How am I feeling? I'm feeling tired. I feel beat up.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm at the point where I need to hire people, because but I have to do it the right way.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be the boss that hires cheap help because it increases my profit margins.
Okay.
But now the people that work with me are going to be high turnover,
Yeah.
and they're going to be miserable and not feel fulfilled that they're actually helping to build my company up.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I don't want them to feel like they're not appreciated.
Right.
Because I've been there.
Yeah.
So,
same.
but that takes good finances to do that.
It does.
So there's a balancing act of, as a business owner, at what point is my time served better doing other things? Because I need to figure out where I need to figure out where they fit in.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to work in the business. I want to work on the business. And right now I am in the business.
Yeah.
You know, so like taking all these calls and this and that, not having somebody that can facilitate a lot of these messages. At some point, I would love to have somebody that runs my social media as well.
Yeah.
Like, these are important things to me down the line that are going to free up my mentality.
Right.
Because truth be told, once I have somebody running my social media,
Yeah.
I'm off. I'm off. I don't want any part of it.
Yeah.
You know, and I had 2 meetings this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I had 1 in-person meeting and 2 phone call meetings. So 3 meetings this morning.
Okay.
And then on top of, like, I did 1 edit before you got here. I have 3 more edits to do by this afternoon. 1 is a batch of like 60 photos that I have to edit on top of like 3 Instagram reels, which the reels take a while to do.
You need to clone yourself.
Yeah, I do have to clone myself. So it becomes tough because you want to handle it all. You want to be the solopreneur.
Of course.
But at the same time,
you spread yourself thin.
And, you know, the job that I do, and I've said this in previous episodes with other guests, the job that I do as a content creator, I can't even call myself a content creator, as an agency, because really that's what I am.
I like it.
That's why I changed the group from Rizzle's Productions to Rizzle Media Group.
Love it.
I want to be more professional and looked at as an actual agency house, because although it's just me right now, I'm not a videographer. Like, there's so many people that label me as a videographer because that was the easy term to do.
Yeah.
Oh, you need a video done? Oh, Nick's a videographer. Oh, you need this done? Nick's a photographer.
Yeah.
Oh, you need this done? Oh yeah, Nick does drone work. It's just like, no, I do all of this.
Yes.
So I'm not just one of these things.
Right.
So
You're
it's
all
like,
of them.
I do my own lighting. I do my own sound. Like, this is just the audio that this is capturing.
Right.
I now have to edit the audio and make it sound even richer and fuller and make sure the levels are all good.
I don't know how you do that.
It's all in the computer.
So cool.
Listen, it's a lot. It's the same thing of like how you do certain things with your clients. It's just it's trial and error. It's taking the time to learn these different mechanisms and these different ways of doing things. And then obviously buying new gear. Like, this was a new piece of gear when I got my new office almost a year ago now.
Yeah. This
is what I started using for my podcast versus what I used to use, and just teaching yourself different things as well. So it's like, I don't want to just be looked at as that.
Yeah.
You know, we got that 3D printer over there now too. I want to start getting some 3D prints out and start
That's cool.
making money with that. Yeah, that's my cousins. We wanted to create a little business together and start doing some 3D prints.
Very cool.
So it's like, there's a lot of things that I do, and I want to just not make it sound like, not minimize what I do.
Yeah.
Because that's so easy.
Well
a lot of
said.
people maximize and overcomplicate what they do, and I minimize what I do.
Yes.
And I don't like that. And I don't want to be that way, because there is so much that I do. There's so much that I offer.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can't be the top 1% in every area.
Yep.
So I can't be the best drone pilot and also be the best at cinematography, lighting, and all these things, because all of these different categories get my attention differently in different percentages.
And it's a matter of finding balance, like
Yeah.
what we were talking about off camera before.
And even editing. I mean, I'm a good editor, but there are a lot of other better editors than me. My mom thinks I'm the best editor in the world, and I'm just like, thanks, Mom, I appreciate it. But like, there are a lot of better editors than me.
Yeah.
So if I can find a really good editor that either is just as good, if not better than me, to handle my edits. The problem with my job is if I'm not shooting, if I'm not shooting, I'm editing.
Okay.
If I'm editing, I'm not shooting. So there's a 50-50 balance in that type of scenario where it's like, okay, if we're not out filming, nothing's getting done at the office. If we're out filming, nothing's getting done at the office.
Right.
If we're editing, no new content is being filmed.
That's probably a tough balance to navigate too.
It is. Because when I'm out at a shoot all day, on like a Wednesday, Thursday, let's just say, leave the house at 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and you don't get back until 3, 4 o'clock. 3, 4 o'clock, now I'm supposed to edit everything?
Yeah.
Or other projects that I haven't gotten to yet?
Oof.
And I say all this to not sound like I'm complaining.
No.
I feel like, not that you believe I am, but some people will take that as I'm complaining, and I'm not.
No.
But I have to be realistic because there's a lot of agency people that will come on podcasts, that will come on TikTok, that will come on all these things, and they will literally and figuratively jerk themselves off for an hour straight on a podcast. Life is so good, and it's amazing, and I handle everything, and I make all the money, and I charge my clients $50,000 a clip, and it's like,
ew,
it's not realistic.
Yeah, like you're gross.
Maybe you are a very big outlier.
Yes.
And that's not to say that it can't be everybody, but it is not the standard. Same thing with Akitas. I use Akitas as an example in terms of like the terminology.
Okay.
They always said like the biggest thing was like, do they get along with other dogs? And there was this big article that somebody wrote and just kept distributing. If you get an Akita that is friendly with other dogs, that is an outlier. That is not the breed standard. Same thing here. It is not the standard for you to just be handling all of this and sitting here like a god.
Yeah.
It's tough. And it's a lot of grit, and it's a lot of resilience, and relationship management, and just everything.
And relationship management in whatever relationship we're talking about. It could be a relationship with, a friend, a client,
professional, personal,
social, whatever it may be. But it's a matter of you nurturing it. Really, that's what it comes down to.
Yep.
Like what you put your energy, your time, and you do. You spread yourself thin. I spread myself thin too, But I think we're driven individuals, and I think that but I also think that I think we're smart. Do you know why I think we're smart?
I hope so.
I think we're smart because
I don't feel it sometimes.
I don't feel it sometimes, but sometimes I mean I do. I get in my head and I'm like, shit. Like, should I have just gotten married? Should I have just gotten married, had the kids, did the whole thing early? And I'm like, but I really think I'd be miserable right now. I do. And it's not just based off of, and I don't just like compare everyone else's experience to my own. I do a little bit. I mean, I'm human, let's be real. But like sometimes I think, oh, what if I did this? What if I did that? And I get so carried away with the what ifs. They're just what ifs, So I feel like the path that I'm on, whether I spread myself thin or not, I'm happy with what I'm doing. Sometimes we go through the burnout, we do spread ourselves thin and we're tired, we're exhausted, but at the end of the day, okay, if you're happy with who you are as a person, mentally, physically, and emotionally, then you're golden. You're golden.
I'm trying to learn how to be happier with myself.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm not.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's not
so
that I'm
hard.
not, but you have to just honestly just let go.
Now that's why I say self-awareness. That's what I mean. It's like really being in tune with like, okay, I'm pissed off. Like I'm not pissed off because I got a flat. Like what is the deeper rooted thing?
I constantly feel like I need to be doing more.
Yep. And it's never enough. You and I are very common with that. It's like never enough. I need to be doing the next thing, the next thing. But it's like sometimes I feel myself like that's my safe space. Me being so busy is my safe space. That's where I feel safe. I feel driven. But then like I am the type of person, I can be totally alone and stare at a wall, but it's just like boring to me. I feel like,
And then there's a whole book on needing the need to be bored.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cal Newport, he's got a lot of really good books on it. I haven't finished all of his books. I have Deep Work and a couple others that I really need to get to.
Yeah.
But it's a priority thing. It's, do you want to read and have to think and use your brain, or would you rather just be a vegetable, scroll on reels and watch TV?
Right.
And you have to, you have to remind yourself that being bored is okay, and you have to give your brain a rest.
Yes.
I was big on that probably 8 months ago. I was big on just like no phone, no nothing, like
Right.
get away from it, go walk without it, like go exercise without it, take the time where there's nothing on in the background in the apartment, like you're just quiet. And it worked for a while, and I felt more relaxed and I felt good, but then
You get comfortable.
you get comfortable, and technology and life's little inconvenient conveniences,
Yes.
they start to rear their ugly head again, and you just slip back into that easy mode of just sitting there scrolling or sitting there
Right.
doing this and that, and it becomes a habit again, and
Right.
it's a habit you have to break.
Yeah, but this is why I say the self-awareness is so important, because look, it's okay. If you're in a little bit of a rut, you're you feeling depressed, you don't feel like getting up, going, it's okay. But you need to know and sit with yourself and be like, okay, you know what? I'm feeling this way right now. This is what's triggering this, okay? But I'm not going to allow myself to get comfortable with this. You need to get comfortable with uncomfortability. That is a line that I live by, okay? Two lines I live by. That and anxiety is the fear of change, okay? And getting comfortable with uncomfortability. Those two things have stuck with me throughout the last 10 years of my life. Anxiety is the fear of change. It is. Change is scary. It's just like we were talking about before. Transition is scary, but invite that into your life, just be aware that it's happening. Prepare yourself. Don't think of every possible wrong thing that's going to happen, because that's just going to make you more afraid. Be open and inviting. You know what? This is happening. Okay. I don't know what I'm going to, what there is to expect, but you know what? I'm here for it. I'm here for this journey, So it's a matter of inviting that into your life and, getting comfortable with uncomfortability. And this ties into that line, because us as humans, okay, obviously being comfortable, there's nothing better than being comfortable, okay? But then, a person like me, I find that boring. So it's comfortable for a little bit, but then it gets boring, and then that could fall into a depression or other things for other different people, but you really grow as a person. Think about every situation you've learned from, okay? Whether it was a bad experience, a positive experience, you were uncomfortable. That is what makes you grow as a human, okay? It's those uncomfortable experiences and going back to yourself as a person and being okay, how was I feeling in that moment? Okay, how did that affect my behavior in that moment? Was I triggered by something? How did it impact me as an individual? How did it make me feel? And how did I behave on that? So that's how I think self-awareness really plays a big role, whether it's physically, emotionally, just overall, you getting to know yourself, okay, who you are, and whoever that is. If you are, I don't know, you go on the dark web, whatever it is, whatever it is, just a matter of accepting that and being all right, this is a weird thing about myself, but you know what? I'm going to own that shit. I'm going to be the best
Dark Webber
on the planet, whatever it is.
I'm going to buy so many kidneys today.
I'm going to buy so many kidneys today, and I'm going to be the best kidney buyer. but really, when you gain self-growth, self-awareness, it makes you smarter as a person, and it makes you doesn't make you this is another part. Some self-aware people feel like they're know-it-alls, and I hate that. Just because you're self-aware doesn't mean that you are a pro at everything. Just because, people will say to me sometimes, "Oh, she's got her doctorate." No, that doesn't. My opinion, okay, and what I have to say isn't above you. Just because I have an education, tell me about your opinion. Tell me about your perception. Tell me about how you feel. And that's why I don't like to tell many people, "Oh yeah, I'm going for my doctorate," because they're like, "Oh, you know, and they automatically think like I'm going to like overpower them. No, like teach me. Like, I think that's why I love my job so much, because I learn from my clients every single day. They teach me something new, you know, like a new perception, a new experience. Like, wow, I never saw something that way. You know, because how we think individually, that's not what other people are thinking. Like you said self-awareness, and I thought something, it's the same general idea, but like based off of our experiences, whether it's childhood, adulthood, made us kind of think of two different things. So you have to think about that in relationships too. Somebody says fuck you, right? Somebody takes that as like,
I've had girls say that to me before.
What do you mean?
I've had just like say that, like even just joking around.
Yeah, like,
and I just and they get taken back when I confront them on that, and I just go, to me, and my experiences, like I'm a grown ass man.
Yeah,
don't say that to me.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Don't because another dude says that to me, we're fighting. Like,
we're fighting.
I'm
yes.
fucking him.
Those
up.
are fighting words.
Yeah, like I'm fucking him.
Yeah,
up. But like you get a pass because you're a girl. But like, that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
We don't talk to each other like
yes.
that.
So, all right. That is a great point. Okay. I think that's a great point, because I think a lot of the times, like women, all right, and me as a woman am saying this, okay? A lot of the times, like, because we're women, okay, like we get to say whatever the F we want, okay? Because, oh, a man can't hit us, okay? Now, it's not okay for a woman to hit a man either, okay? It's unacceptable. It's not acceptable.
I've had a couple of situations where females have put their hands on me, and I've said, "Let me just let you know, like, that's not going to fly with me. So let's keep our hands to ourselves."
Yes,
like, we don't do that.
Look, and personally, listen, I've been in the toxic relationships too. I mean, I'm sure
it wasn't even a relation. It was it wasn't even a girl I was in relationship. Actually, one of them was.
Okay,
but she was fucking nut job. Nut job. And I just like oh my god.
We love the nut jobs.
It's horrific. I'm so glad that was over. But no, one of them was a girl, one of my exes, and she was fighting with a girl on the street.
Oh.
And I was pulling them apart, and the girl kept punched me in the mouth a couple of times, like just trying to like pretend like she was swinging over, but she was actually just hitting me intentionally.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I'm just letting you know, like I can hit you once and break every tooth in your mouth.
Yes, that's.
Like, I'm not one of these little girls.
Right.
Like this is like not how this goes down. If you think that this is how it's going to go down, it's not how it goes down.
No.
So I was like, so if you hit me again, we're gonna have a problem.
Right.
And then she stopped.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just letting you know.
Yes.
I'm not doing this. I'm gonna lash out on you.
Yes.
But we keep our hands to ourselves.
Yes.
Don't do that shit.
Correct. And
especially when all I'm doing is keeping you guys away. I'm not touching you inappropriately.
Yeah. Right.
I'm not hitting you.
Yeah.
I was literally just keeping them away. I was young too.
Yeah.
I think I was like 20 or 19 or 20.
Yeah.
And she was like 17 or 18.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just letting you know, like, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, because but look, and this is what I feel like I see it a lot with these kids today too. Like because they see all these, like everyone has a phone, I can record you doing that.
That's what they'd rather record it, ruin somebody's life for defending themselves, not show the other half of what this altercation or interaction was actually going on.
Yes.
And instead they just want to be the hero that gets the views on TikTok or on Instagram. And you're a clown for that.
You're a clown. Respectfully, you're a clown.
You're a clown for that. You're a clown if you'd rather grab your phone and record something than actively participate in trying to help.
Correct.
You know, there's a lot of videos that I see, not only just in fights, but just in robberies or somebody getting the shit kicked out of them on the subway. Now, I understand or girls getting taken advantage, like a dude trying to touch a girl, or this and that.
But they missed the whole part before that.
Yeah. It's tough because as a third party, you know, they'll look and they'll be like, why are all these men sitting there and not helping her, or why are they not doing this and that? It's tough because I've seen instances where let's make it this example. Let's make it an example of boyfriend and girlfriend are out.
Okay.
Boyfriend and girlfriend have a toxic relationship.
Okay.
Boyfriend and girlfriend constantly fight behind closed doors, but tonight she riled the boyfriend up and the boyfriend is going nuts on her in a public setting, and maybe he grabs her by the arm or this and that. Mm-hmm. Me as a third party sitting there, I don't know what goes on.
Correct.
However, I see that this girl who can't defend herself against a full-grown man, society wants me to be masculine when it suits the narrative. Mm-hmm. They want me to jump over, beat the piss out of Buddy, and save her. But what they don't what they fail to realize is that 9 times out of 10, she's going home with him still because they have a life together. And this is just one of their bouts of fighting in public and attention-seeking behavior.
Yep.
I'm arrested for fucking Buddy up. And now I have to deal with legal ramifications of him pressing charges against me or what have you. All because I call it white knighting, because a lot of dudes are trying to just look good for the girl.
Yeah.
But all because I was trying to do the right thing and help her out.
Yep.
I had a neighbor, they would fight cats and dogs, horrific. Fighting loud through the wall. And every now and then, I'm trying to mind my business. Every now and then, I hear a couple thuds and I'm just like, that's like a body hitting something, or that's like somebody putting, and it's just like, so many times I had to sit there and just like, bite my tongue. Yeah. It never actually manifested into physical, domestic violence stuff. But there was that side of me that was just like, mind your fucking business, because she chose him. Because then you'd hear her like lean into him. You're a piece of shit. You're a fucking loser. You're this and that. And I'm just like, so then why are you guys together?
Yeah. What are you doing?
Because like, what, you're going to make up and I'm supposed to, as the guy, I'm supposed to ignore that you just called me and that you actually feel this way about me? Like, we're just going to pretend?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just supposed to be like, she didn't mean it. I'm not a loser. She didn't mean it. She doesn't think I'm a fucking joke. Really?
But she said it.
She said it. She feels it.
She feels it.
Yeah, she feels it. No one's going to throw shade like that if it didn't actually feel that. If they didn't at some point in however long the relationship was, if they didn't at some point get that emotion.
Yeah. What do you think about people drinking saying things?
People drinking and saying things. I think that drinking, because the inhibitions become lower. I believe that it's like a truth serum.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I believe it's a truth serum. I've seen some nasty shit. I've had friends deal with nasty shit.
Yeah.
I will not name her, but she had a friend of mine had a boyfriend for a couple months. They were dating. Everything seemed great. And then they went to an event together and he was drinking at the event. Fine, whatever. But he drove. And she just said, hey, do you want to just slow down a little bit and this and that because we have to leave soon? Oh, you my fucking mother? Like all of a sudden. And then she was just like,
ew.
Okay. And then from what I understand, he brought a drink with him while he was driving back. And they were driving from Jersey back to Long Island.
Oh, wow.
And she's just like, if you're going to drink and drive, like I'm going to go take an Uber. And he's just like, oh, so you're going to feel safer in the car with another man than me. And like made it about.
Gaslit her.
Yeah. Made it about that shit. And like, yo, that's insane. You are insane, bro.
You are insane.
Dog, you are insane.
Yes.
And then she found out like after. It's always funny when they find out afterwards.
Yeah.
Like afterwards that, oh yeah, he's a nice guy, but like he always like drinks a lot and fucks things up with his girls or like does drugs or this and that. It's like, oh.
Of course, there's always something.
Nice.
So yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Love that.
So I do believe that there is a lot of truth within what is said when there are substances involved that lower the guard, lower the inhibitions, lower all that stuff. And it's a shame because that's kind of when you see someone's true self in certain scenarios.
Yeah.
But then you also see a fake person that needs a substance consistently to feel like themselves.
Yes.
So
they could a lot of people do it because they don't feel comfortable feeling feelings. And I think like that's like such a therapist thing to say, feel the feelings. But, but, I feel like a lot of, and now I want to know how you feel about this, men feeling feelings. Do you think, I feel like a lot of men won't, that like their ego gets in the way of that. So like, okay, I sit here across from you, right? I would say you're an emotionally intelligent person and just overall intelligent. Okay. You're welcome. But most men aren't. Like, and I knock my own brother for this. I knock him because he's so successful. He's so successful in every area of his life, right? But then, I talk to him about some things, and I'm like, you are so black and white. You're such a black and white thinker. Like, you don't have like any. He's like, you have to treat everything like a business transaction. Okay, understandably, I understand what you're saying, but like, where's the emotion behind that?
It's cold.
It's cold. But here's the thing. He is self-aware enough to know. He's like, truthfully, he's like, this is how I am as a person. And like, but we will build off that. I don't judge him for it, but like, he is very in tune with himself where he is just like, you know what? Like, this is who I am as a person. I know my pitfalls. Like you know, I can be affectionate as a man, but like it takes a lot for me to feel safe in that.
I think society as a whole has really damaged a lot of men emotionally.
I think so too.
And because they want, I knew he was going to lay down. I was just sure. And because they want us to be masculine, but they don't want us to have toxic masculinity. And then the definition of toxic masculinity swish-swashes all the way around. And then the general consensus of so many is just like a man being a man is toxic.
Yeah.
So they emasculate a lot of men. And then men already feel invisible as we get older. Mm-hmm. Because girls are so, I forget who I had this conversation with. Was it Handsome Homebuyer? That was my boy. Yeah, Handsome Homebuyer. He was on the podcast a while ago. And we had this conversation. He didn't feel the same way as I do, but I feel like from speaking to men, from seeing the interactions online with men, you could get an average girl from the middle of Nebraska.
Yeah.
And once she back in the day, she would get the attention from everybody in Nebraska.
Yeah.
But now, because of social media and all this, she now has access to the top 1% of men around the entire globe. And they find her attractive, or they find a quality about her that they like, and they'll fly her out. And now that ruins that girl.
Yeah.
And it also makes the 99% of other men look like shit.
Yes.
And then when it's consistently broadcasted on all social channels, look what this guy did for me, flew me out here, blah, blah, blah. You see the girls that are single going courtside. You know, there was a girl that I was very interested for a little while, like a year or so ago. Courtside all the time. You see her courtside. As a man, you start going,
what is she doing?
Yeah, who's paying that?
Yeah, who's paying that?
Because I'm sure she can afford it. She had a nice job, but courtside multiple times a month? Which athlete she fucking?
Yeah.
Like that's where you start to think.
That's where your brain goes.
So we go back to kind of just like men as a whole. Women are constantly noticed.
Yes.
Whether for the right reason or the wrong reason doesn't matter.
Yep.
They're constantly noticed.
And we're constantly attention seeking too. We'll say
and especially social media, attention seeking. I showed my mom a girl on like this Spanish girl online. It was just, but she looks like a white Spanish girl.
Okay.
I just showed my mom. I was like, who wouldn't even think she's Spanish? And my mom's like, oh, she's beautiful. I was like, yeah, she is.
Yeah.
And I showed her another video, and she just goes, oh, another one of these. Everything's a selfie. Everything's the fucking the fit check. Like, yeah, we get it. Yo, you're just farming for likes and fucking attention. We get it. Like, the general male, like the dude who had, like myself, like, I understand what you're doing.
Yes.
And a guy like me, I'm not going to feed into that.
Correct.
I'm not going to sit here and follow you and like your content.
Yes.
And, maybe she'll notice me.
Maybe she'll notice.
Out of the thousands of guys that are doing that.
Yes.
You're a joke, bro, if you think that she is.
Yep.
You're a joke.
A joke.
You're a joke. Go rub one out and go to bed.
Yeah.
Like, dude, dog, you're just, you really is just like, you're making us all look bad.
Yeah.
So because women are just always noticed and men go unnoticed, and, you know, women have a lot of like opportunities for like venting and whatnot, dudes generally don't. And, you know, one of my first clips that I posted on TikTok was my buddy Andre and I sitting down. He's a rough, you know, streets kind of dude. He's one of the top men's physique athletes in the world for a long time. He's a very well-known name in that fitness landscape. And he just said, he's like, yo, most people, obviously not in the same cadence that he had it, but he's like, most dudes don't tell people their problems, because he's like, yo, Nick, if I tell you my problems, what the fuck are you going to do about it?
I know.
He's like, give me a hug.
Yeah. That's right.
He goes, I'm going to ride it out myself.
Right.
That's it. He's like, that's all I can do.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck am I going to do? Like, I'm going to tell you all my issues. You're just going to be like, hate to hear it. That's it. But a woman, you know, there's a lot more. Yeah. Oh, can we, you know, this and that and this. Right. It just, as a society, it seems that way.
Yes.
And I feel for a lot of the guys when the focus is so solely on women nowadays, because in the 40s, 50s, you know, they were what's the word I'm looking for? They were repressed, right? Is that the word I'm looking for? Like pushed back, pushed away, pushed down. Yeah. They were repressed and they weren't treated as like equals, but then they're treated as equals, and it has risen. And now it's at the point where I would say they're actually in the upper category now in comparison to men.
Yes.
So, you know, as a guy, you see all this and you try to be the best version of yourself. You try to be respectful to women. You try to do all these things, and it just becomes a tough thing for a guy to just like handle it all.
Yeah.
And at some point, you know, they either funnel that frustration into the gym, jujitsu, like, you know, and take that energy off the table and feel
Yeah.
or it builds until it snaps.
Yes.
And the dude just either has a coronary,
Right.
or he beats somebody,
Right.
whether it's a man or a woman
Yeah.
or what have you.
Yeah.
And you just have all that pent up aggression and anger. And it's tough.
It is tough. And that's why, like,
I was raised by a single mother, and I was able to learn these coping skills. And my mom always had a lot of spirituality behind the scenes with
my mom
me.
too.
You know, just very Buddhism and Zen and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
just talking about things with her. And I want you to come to me with any questions or problems that you have,
Right.
this and that. And that's, you know, that's what we need. But once again, just because she does it, that's not the standard.
Correct. And I think, like, well said, Nick.
Thank you.
Truthfully.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
No, well said. But I do agree. I think it's really hard for men to, like, because obviously 2 of your boys aren't going to come and be like, I felt really sad today because, you know, I don't know, I didn't get fries with my burrito, whatever it is. Okay.
Or I got ghosted by the 10th chick in a row.
I got ghosted by the 10th chick in a row.
And realistically, it had nothing to do with me. She just had 50 other guys that were hitting her up at the same time.
Correct. But, like, again.
But you feel that scar, and it's one ding on the armor every time.
Yeah. And it's built up trauma. And, like, how it
I'm sure I have.
so
I'm
intense.
sure I have.
Oh, yeah.
Plenty.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure. Listen, we all have a little bit of trauma, okay? But I think that as far as relationships, like what we experience, okay, even like, and I tell people this today, out of all my education, everything that I've read, okay, you are who you are because of your childhood, okay? It is the makeup of why you are the way that you are, okay? But as an adult, okay, when we, like, that's why I say your adolescent years, okay, just from the ages of 12 to I'd say like 18, 19, okay, those are such prime years, okay? And those are prime years because not only did you experience what you experienced as a little child, right? Like you're that little kid, you're innocent, you're an innocent being, right? Like you're very innocent. You rely on your parents for everything, you know, whatever. You're vulnerable, what have you. Then you get to the adolescent state and like you have this knowledge of what you experience as a kid, but then you're learning things in school and in social settings, social media now. Like, oh, well, my parents do this. What's normal? What's not? What is the definition of normal? There is none. What's your normal? And that's why I say to people, like, if you are a person that, you know, has learned from your experience, but I mean truthfully learn from your experience. Like you made a mistake, you take like certain lessons from that mistake. You may make that mistake again, okay? But you clearly didn't take the lessons you needed from the first.
It's like the girl that keeps getting with the same guy.
Yep.
Or keeps going back to the same guy.
And I've been guilty of it, okay? I've been there. But you do that because that's what feels comfortable. Again,
familiarity,
that's
rapport.
Rapport. You're comfortable, and you're like, oh,
you both know what each other likes, dislikes. I don't have to go through the whole stages of intro again.
Exactly. Like I remember.
What do you do for work?
What do you do for work? Like what? Oh, all right. What kind of car? It's just like who fucking cares? It's like why do I have to beat my head over?
Because you're on your best behavior for the first round.
Yeah.
But
it's like, oh.
It's familiarity.
Yes. But you do it for familiarity, comfortability. And you're like, okay, would I rather be alone, okay, or feel lonely in a relationship? Think about that. So at least one of my past relationships, well, most of my past relationships, like by the end of them, I was like, I feel lonely. I might as well just I might as well just be alone and happy than lonely in a relationship just because I'm comfortable, you know, because I am the type of girl, I like to make my tomato sauce and I like to cook, you know, I like to be in the kitchen because I'm not on my phone. I'm not reading another research article. I like, you know, being present, you know, I love that. But if I'm with somebody that's not appreciating it, that's expecting it, like, oh, go make me dinner. What? Like, bitch, go make your own fucking dinner respectfully, okay? Like, as you're sitting on my couch, fuck you.
Yeah.
Bitch, go make your own dinner.
Yeah.
Like, damn, I just worked my ass all day too. I'm coming home, cooking, cleaning, still doing your laundry, and I don't mind. I'm not complaining.
I have to send you my jujitsu gear.
Okay. Send it to me.
if you want to, if you now you can feel lonely and still do someone else's laundry too.
I don't know about that. I'm going to start charging Norman rent at this point.
Yeah.
My cat.
Yeah. I know Norman. Yeah.
Love Norman.
Start charging this motherfucker and lay next to me.
Listen, they should be charging rent. Just I'm sure Kenji's food alone is super expensive.
Kenji's medicine.
Yeah.
Every month.
Okay.
It's $70 for the emergency needles that expire.
Yeah.
That expire every 30 days, but I keep them for 90.
Okay.
So it's $70 for those. There's only 3 of those.
Okay.
If he has a seizure, and his potassium bromide $65 and his Keppra is $60. So he's at $130 before 130 plus 70, and then his health insurance is $100 a month.
Really?
Yeah, his health insurance is $100 a month.
$100.
And then his food, he goes through about $100 worth of treats every month. And on top of that, his regular food is probably, I would say it's anywhere from $225 to $300 a month for food.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, people have no idea what I pay every month in everything.
That's a lot.
Yeah, they got no fucking idea. This office, I pay this office.
Oh, my God.
I have a boss that pays this office. It's me. Yep.
You should be proud of yourself. All right. And this is where I say we should be giving men more grace. Okay?
Give me my flowers.
Give me my flowers. No, but for real.
No, I know.
But not all men are, I will say this, not all men are like you and me either.
No.
It's not. I just called myself a man.
Not all men and women are like us. Yes, I know what you mean. Hey, listen, 2024, however you
2024, however I identify. I am a woman.
Yeah.
But for real, listen, I've gone on the dates where some guys are still living at home. All right, cool.
Which I get.
But
it's tough, dude. You got to get the fuck out.
Yeah, it's like, come on.
Get that basement apartment or something.
Yeah, just do something. Whatever. We're just getting. I'm trying to navigate that now too, because I do understand it's hard. I'm self-sufficient. I live on my own. I pay my own rent, my bill, whatever it is. Okay, my school, my book, whatever. But the people that are still living at home, understandable. It's expensive. It's very hard out there. But have you lived alone?
No.
Have you done this? Have you experienced that? And I feel like the people that I've dated guys that still live with mom and dad and are still, going out and partying and drinking I'm like, ew, what, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And this person can make decisions in real life. What,
No,
it's sad,
They can.
and it kind of makes men look bad. And I'm just saying.
Well, that's why I find it funny that I get ghosted.
Yes.
That's why I find it hysterical.
I get ghosted too, Nick. We both get ghosted.
That I get ghosted. That I laugh and I just go, so you just want to keep dealing with the deadbeat motherfuckers that you keep dealing with. That's cool. I mean, I'm by all means, but I got my own apartment in the middle of the village. This is not chump shit.
No.
This is real shit. I run my own business.
You're a real man.
I can obviously keep something alive.
Yes.
Even with health issues.
Yes. Yeah. Extreme health issues.
Yeah, keep them alive.
Yeah, really.
So I don't know. It's just I laugh at some of these situations and then I see they'll go out with dudes that are just complete jokes, and I just go, wow.
Yeah.
You have no self-worth if that's the case.
I mean, look, and on my end, I feel the same way. And sometimes I'm like, do I have an ego thing? Because I think to myself, I'm okay,
I think all the time. Maybe it's me.
Me too.
Maybe it's me.
I sit here and I think to myself, I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm fairly good looking. Okay, I'm educated. I cook. I clean. Okay, I have an animal. Okay, I have plants, so I'm feeding and taking care of them. Okay. I work what? But then I'll see the guy ghost me and then go for a half naked twat on Instagram. Respectfully. What?
Karen's favorite word, twat.
Is it?
Yeah, twat. Yeah. It's awesome.
But it's the truth.
It's true.
It's so true.
Yeah,
It's like,
I wonder why it won't last. Oh, because she's selling the goods to everybody.
correct. She hasn't, and again, no way to
Say it.
OnlyFans.
Yep. So
Okay.
that's the story that I was
Sorry. I'm going to say it. And I'm going to say it because look, I'm all for women and their this and that, but listen.
Go for it.
Just picture this, okay? And I've had I have guy friends that have told me like, Dom, start an OnlyFans, you'll be loaded. And I'm like, okay, first of all, I have self-respect and morals.
Why?
Like, shut the fuck up,
Yeah, but
okay?
why?
I don't, no thank you, okay? But then there are the women that are like, oh yeah, we're pro-women empowerment, but you showing the most vulnerable parts of yourself, okay, is not flattering. It's not like
It's not empowering. It's not.
It's not empowering. And
we used to. I said this the other day. We used to like shame people that would have sex tape leaks or stuff like that. And it's not that they need to be shamed, but have some morals,
right?
Have some character.
Yes, have some.
You're literally selling yourself.
You're literally fucking selling yourself.
Well, you're in sex work. That's what it is.
Yeah, sorry.
You're not a model. You do sex work.
Correct.
So I'll make you laugh. A couple of years ago, I just started living by myself. A couple months into it, started talking to this girl. She's big into fitness. Got along. She had a job at the hospital, so she was like semi-successful. Like she was just going younger, early 20s. Anyway, we started hitting it off, and then 2 weeks into like talking, I waited a little long, but I wanted to make sure that she was actually cool. 2 weeks into talking, I said, "Hey, why don't we go out? I'll bring you." It was a cool date idea. Like I went to Hot Pot. In like Flushing.
Yeah.
So she lived all the way the fuck down in Long Beach. Yeah. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. So she said I would love to, blah, blah, blah. She's like, I've never been to Hot Pot, and I said, neither have I, so it'll be like an experience. Okay. Get the car detailed, haircut, do everything.
Did the whole thing.
Looking sharp, got new shoes,
nice.
Great. Drive down to Long Beach, pick her up. Great. Drive to Hot Pot, having conversation in the car, everything's good, we're laughing, talking, blah, blah, blah. Get to the place, Hot Pot. Hanging out, eating, food was awesome, whatever. Okay, we leave, doing a little karaoke in the car on the way home, having fun, this and that. Okay. Drop her off, go get out, get the door for her. She just goes, "Thank you so much, I had so much fun." She's like, "I'll text you." Perfect. Kiss me on the cheek. Great.
Great.
Get back in the car, drive back.
Good
like
person.
1 a.m. now. I'm fucking exhausted. Okay. So no text back. No text by the time I got home. I was like, interesting. Like, hey, I hope you got home safe, this and that. Nothing. I was like, okay, cool. So then, now it's starting to become clear of why I have no interest in dating, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, but it's same story with me.
So then, I mean, she was like, she stepped out in like skin tight jeans, and I mean, she wasn't like she didn't look like not tasteful.
Yeah,
she looked good.
Yeah,
but like. We walked into this place and like two of the security guards, like for the mall entrance, they looked at her and then they looked at me and I looked at them. I went, fucking crazy, right? I was like, I have no idea. It was crazy. So, the next morning she hits me up later in the morning. She's just like, "I'm so sorry. I was up since 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. for the hospital, blah, blah, blah." She's just like, "Thank you so much for last night. I had so much fun, this and that," and sends a heart. I was like, great.
Oh.
Yeah, great.
Okay.
So I hit her back and I was just like, yeah, thank you so much. I traveled for work. It was Thanksgiving 2 days later.
Okay.
So I traveled for work. I didn't hit her up for Thanksgiving or anything like that. She said she was going home to her family. And I said, hey, I'm going to be in Miami until the end of the weekend. I said, I'm just finishing up a job. I said, do you want to get together, go to the planetarium or something like that?
Cool.
Nothing. Okay. Week later, I hit her up with something else. I go, hey, I have to go to Dubai next week for business. I said, do you want to get together before I leave? I said, I would love to, see you again. This and that. I hope you're great. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving, this and that.
Yeah.
Nothing. Awesome. So I gave it another 2 weeks. She's watched a couple of my stories, this and that. She's avidly on my Instagram still. Yeah. And I unfollowed her. She unfollowed me like a couple days later. And then about 4 months later, I went back and checked her profile and she's doing OnlyFans. I was like, great. Awesome.
Wow.
Yep. Saved.
Yes, you dodged a bullet there.
Thank you.
Karen would have loved if you brought that home.
She would have loved it.
Would have loved that.
Would have loved it. So that's what I'm saying. So it's just like, okay, great. And I'm sure you as a therapist have heard about people even having private OnlyFans without telling their partner.
Yep. Okay.
Awesome.
So now listen. So this, I have actually a couple of couples, okay, that their wives have OnlyFans. And they know, and they're our age. Okay. So
They know that their wives have OnlyFans.
Yes.
And they're cool with it.
we're cool
All
with
of a
it.
sudden. Yeah. Because
All
now they
of
don't
a
like
sudden.
the DMing them.
Right.
Trying
Because,
to fuck.
because here's the thing. Then, because
Wonder why that didn't work.
yeah, I wonder why that didn't work. Oh, yeah, we'll do it for extra money. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, go
diddle
bag,
yourself. Go diddle yourself
yeah,
on camera.
Yeah. Like, go bag groceries if you need some extra money. Like, you know what I mean? Why?
That is literally the definition of selling your soul.
Yes, selling your soul. You're in a happy, like, why do something like that? Because it's fast money. Fast money doesn't last. That's the thing. Fast money, okay, is never, yeah, you get that instant gratification, okay? You do. But when it's something like that, like OnlyFans, and you're in a happy marriage ish, okay, makes things 1,000 times worse. Because listen, as soon as a man becomes insecure, and I've been with my fair share of insecure men, okay? I've had like my landlord's son come and knock on my doorstep. I don't know if I told you this.
No.
So me and my ex-boyfriend broke up because my landlord knocked on my front door my landlord's son doesn't even live there, okay? Knocked on my front door. He's mid-20s, okay? Knocks on my front door, asked me to move my car, okay? So I could walk out of the house, move my car, come back inside, okay? Because I didn't introduce my boyfriend at the time fast enough, I was automatically having sex with him. Okay? Talk about insecure. Okay? So that, to me, I was just like, holy shit, I'm dating a psychopath. Like, there's no fixing that. I'm sorry.
I got tight with a girl that I was dating because she didn't introduce me as her boyfriend, but it was very different.
That's valid.
It's a very different situation. We just started dating like a month and a half before.
Yeah.
And we were out in Patchogue at a bar, and this dude comes over to her and he's like, "Oh, what's going on? This and that. I haven't seen you in a while." Hugs her, a little too like kisses her on the cheek, but it wasn't like a peck. It was like an actual kiss on the cheek and this and that. She's just like, "Oh yeah, I've been doing this and that." Blah blah blah. He's just like, "All right." He's like, "I'll hit you up." You know. She's like, "Okay, bye." Like this and that. I'm literally just standing there like this, and I went, "Interesting." I had all my boys with me too. I was just like, really?
Wow.
Blowout fight that night. Blowout.
How about this? I don't blame you.
Blowout.
Here's my thing. That when I answered the front door, I literally said, this is my boyfriend. Okay? But it was because I didn't do it fast enough.
Yeah, well, you gotta open the door, and as you're opening it, my boyfriend's in here.
My boyfriend's in here. You know, because that wouldn't have been alarming.
Yeah.
Please. But, I see it. But it's the same thing with girls too. Girls get insecure and they, but look, I do think that social media, OnlyFans, like, truthfully, technology has kind of like...
Fucked us.
Fucked us. It has. It's just made everything so like... Oh.
No, you're good.
Hey.
You're just sitting back. Okay.
Just sitting back.
I was gonna say you can these move. That's the whole point of these. Yeah, look at that.
Very serious.
See how much better you sound when you're on top of the mic though?
Wow. It's like down my throat.
And we're canceled.
And we're canceled. We're gonna cut that out, Nick.
No, I'm leaving that.
Yeah. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Mom.
Social media has fucked us.
Oh, social media. Just technology has kind of it's fucked us.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
So what do we do?
What do we do?
I guess we should leave off on that because you have to leave soon.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it goes by like that. What should we do?
What should we do? You want like tips from me right now?
Just give me like a couple bullet points of what are some great things that we can do to try to mitigate the infestation of our brain from social media and our unhappiness in relationships due to it.
Okay. All right, this is what I'm going to say.
Say it.
Learn about yourself away from your phone. Mindfulness, spending time with yourself without a phone. You really like going and taking a walk, okay? And like listening to the birds, something as simple as that, okay? You learn things about yourself. Oh, I like that sound. I don't like that sound. That's really like getting in tune with yourself, right? Like when you learn, knowledge is power. So if we know ourselves, okay, then we're golden, right? But like if we're constantly comparing ourselves to things that we see on the internet, okay, like we're becoming a fake version of who we are. Like really spending time with yourself, getting to know yourself, what makes you tick, all of it is power. That's the only way that I feel like you succeed in a relationship is if you're in tune with yourself, okay? And then two people come together, okay, and make a team. Just like you said, like a pure relationship. You have communication, you have boundaries, okay? You have respect. There's loyalty, but there's also intimacy. A lot of these people lose sight in that. I mean, we can go have a whole
Let's do another one. We'll do another one.
We'll do another one.
I like to do one on marriages and like the pitfalls
absolutely.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, because that I can go on for a long time, but it's the truth. Like as far as, us as human beings, like we need to sometimes just remember we are humans, okay? It's okay to fuck up. It's okay not to be perfect. It's okay to, not always show up as the best versions of ourselves. But when we acknowledge that, when we gain insight in that, in ourselves, I mean, shit, like we just continue to grow as people, as individuals and in relationships, no matter what relationship it is, whether it's professional, whether it's, social, or whether it's personal, like us really like going in our brains, all right, you know what? The way I said that could have been perceived like fucked up. It could have been that way. Could have been like a really perceived by somebody else as shitty. Like, okay, why did I think that was okay to say? It's like reflecting back. Like, why did somebody else have that reaction? Because some people, they're going to have like outlandish reactions, but like if somebody reacts a certain way and I didn't expect them to react that way, I'm like, oh shit, did I say something that was, and it, like you actually, that's how you learn. You gain insight. So as far as like social media and all this stuff, like really turning off your phone for an hour, but having a balance, okay? That's really what it is. It's like, at least with me, I was always like an extremist. I was either like was always on my phone or not. It's like how we kind of touched on it before. But like it's a matter of finding that balance, of finding like, okay, and being in tune with yourself, like what do I need right now? Asking yourself, what do I need? For you, probably sometimes I need to just go to jiu-jitsu right now.
Oh, yeah.
I need to like...
And it's tough because you get tired, but you have to do it.
Yes, but you have to do it and you feel so good. And that's the gym for me
afterwards,
too.
I feel like...
You feel like $1 million.
And it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of people that... The turnover rate in jiu-jitsu is crazy.
Sure.
You see new faces all the time and you see faces that you thought were going to be there for a long time and they just disappear and...
Yeah.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
Because you are just getting you talk about doing hard things all the time. You are just getting your ass kicked 24/7 there.
Looks like it.
Yeah. Even when even when you kick ass, like then the brown belt comes through or the black belt or the purple belt and they just fuck you up and you're just like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like I roll with so many upper belts that when I finally actually go against a lot of blue belts or people that are my skill and under and I'm beating them up to some extent, I go, oh, I am actually really good at this. I'm just going against guys that have been doing it for 10 years.
Yep.
Gotcha. So you almost forget that, but it's nice to disconnect and have something that doesn't require a subscription or some type of electrical current to power it.
Yes. And you know what it is? And I think that's why like mental health is like so, I'll say it's hot right now because look, think about it. When somebody's in my office, they shut their phone off for 1 solid hour. And that is a solid hour. They're just expressing how they genuinely feel, the stranger that gave them the finger, that pissed them off. It's an hour of you just like being in tune with yourself, getting out your feelings, and you're like, oh shit, that was a relief. Yep. That's like you taking an hour a week to yourself. Yep. So when people tell me like, oh yeah, I have no time. Yeah, trust me, you have no time, I have no time. But guess what? We are doing things that do make us better people. Take the edge off. And that's jujitsu for you. That's like, and what you do is like a creative art every day. Like
blank canvas every time.
It's a blank canvas every time. And it's really, that must be really, really cool for you.
Yeah.
Really?
It's cool to see how things develop and songs and music and things, shape what I'm doing.
Yeah. So I think like, look, if I didn't go to the gym every day, like I would probably want to strangle somebody. No joke.
So
like
you come do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Come get fucked up ears with me.
Yeah. There you go.
Well,
how
can people follow you, get in touch, stuff like that?
Okay, so what do you mean by that? As far as follow me, get in touch, like
I usually plug whatever the people that I have on, whatever they're doing.
Okay.
You want to talk about your practice and if people need counseling or
yeah. So I'm at Transformations Counseling Group. We're in Hop Hog.
Heyo.
We actually just expanded, which is cool. So we're working children, families, couples, marriages of any shapes and sizes. Okay, we work with them all. I've been there 2 years, never leaving, never leaving. So follow us. Yeah, come on by. I don't have the phone number at the top of my head, but. People even do that anymore.
It's the greatest plug ever.
You know what? I'll put a yellow page ad in. Okay?
Yes,
I'll do that. I'll do that.
You tell me what you want me to put in the description. I'll put in the description.
Okay, thank you.
I don't even think I said your name. Dominique.
I
didn't think I said your name.
I'm Dominique. Hey.
Yes.
Hey.
Hey guys. We just start. We just start. I appreciate you for coming through, chopping it up, hanging out.
It's a pleasure.
It's been almost 2.5 hours.
I can't even.
So we got to get you out of here. You have class at 3.
I have class at 3.
2:57.
I'm already late.
You're gonna be late.
I'm late.
Please like, share, subscribe, the usual things that help the show to grow and increase the audience and engagement. I appreciate everybody for hanging out with us. And
Thanks, guys.
On that note,
Peace
peace.
out.